You are live. Bada bing, bada boom. Welcome to another episode of Metalheads Unite. Normal programming today.
That's right.
At least for this week. I don't know about anything. I know that the 20th is booked, but I don't know about anything else yet.
That's right. Yep.
I actually was going to talk to you about that because I couldn't remember what fillers I put out. So I couldn't remember. And I was going to ask. I was out somewhere and I said, "Man, I should ask him while I'm thinking about it to look in the email and see who we talked to because I wanted to send out some other stuff, but I couldn't remember who I did and who I didn't. But I guess if I went to their socials and stuff,
Yeah.
Actually, that's what I did. I went to their socials and there wasn't nothing there message wise. I'm like, did I reach out to them through email or?
Yeah, well, I haven't.
That's what happens when you reach out to too many people,
right? Yeah. Well, I haven't seen any activity in the email other than the fact that we got the confirmation for the 20th, so we got that down. And I am actually probably going to. Yeah, from Andy. I am probably going to be reaching out to Enforced this weekend, see maybe if we can put a line in the water to them.
Cool.
So, but other than that, I haven't seen any activity in the email lately. So we're good to go. We're good to go for the 20th.
Okay. So I know there was two bands we were talking about last week about talking to. So I got to figure out how to get in touch with those guys. So
yeah.
Oh man, it's been crazy. I was talking to you before the show how crazy it's been, so I haven't really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Enforced was one of the bands we were talking about anyway, so I'm still gonna shoot them a line, see if I can touch base with them. So, and I think I'm thinking Savage Existence was the other one, the album that you had reviewed, the one that you.
It was, and I could,
Yeah,
and I couldn't remember if I talked to them yet or not. I think I had it pulled up too, and I think I got sidetracked doing something else. But
okay,
anyway,
all right, yeah.
Trying to make sure. I'm going to turn on the live show so I can make sure that we're not. When we're losing Wi-Fi connections or whatever,
right?
Because it's inevitable. It's inevitable. I mean,
it pretty much seems to be. Yeah, it kind of comes part and parcel with the whole broadcasting thing. So, at least it seems to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is weird because I've been expecting it to rain
the thing is
all day and it never did.
I had a buddy of mine was like, "Why don't you just edit it out?" I'm like, "Dude, do you know how much I would have to edit out if it freezes like 5 or 6 times?" Like, huh? Yeah. So
yeah. Now we just roll with it.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty much what you have to do. I mean I don't have time to edit that stuff out. So
right.
I'm having a hard enough time trying to edit out the Rockin' Pod day still. So.
Yeah.
Which if you haven't or don't know, then you can don't follow us on Spotify. The Ricky Ratman episode is up on there now. So if you wanted to,
yes, it is.
Check out Ricky's little interview with us over there, impromptu interview at that. So
yeah, he came by and talked. He came by and talked to us for about 8-10 minutes, but he took time out of his day when he didn't have to. gracious
Yeah.
enough to do that. We greatly appreciated that.
I think it wound up being 16 minutes or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Something like that. I know most
Yeah.
of them was around 15, except for
Hmm.
Jason McMasters. He was there a little bit longer. So
Yeah, he didn't have anywhere to be. That's at least
yeah,
that's what he said. Oh, he's like, I got nowhere to be.
he's like, you good? You want to keep going? Like, man, fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
We ain't got nobody for 35 minutes, dude. Let's do it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So he hung out with us the longest, and then we actually hung out with him for a little bit after the whole thing was over.
yeah,
So
yeah, he's a great dude.
yeah.
I think he was one of my favorites. Probably, I mean, as far as like the interview and hanging out afterward, no, he was probably
Yeah.
one of my favorites. Of course, we
Yeah.
were starstruck with a couple of interviews, but
We were. I actually, like I said, I actually went back
I'm
and
still thinking.
listened to
I'm
the
still wondering. Still,
what's that?
oh no, that was freezing. Looks like so.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
But
Go
I
ahead.
was about to say I know last week I talked about I went back and listened to the like when it got posted onto YouTube. I went ahead and watched the Ricky Rackman interview on YouTube, and I had to laugh at myself because I could tell that I was a little geeked out. Just I was laughing at myself because I was listening to the whole interview, and like all of my responses, every time I would say something, I just laughed at myself listening to it because I was like, yeah, I was I think I was starstruck a little bit. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That one and the Jack Gibson one. So
I know I was starstruck for the Jack Gibson one. I mean, I kind of knew that was going to happen anyway. So.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. She's mad because she can't come in here with Papa. So
Right. Yeah, she wanted to make an appearance.
she did get the door open somehow or another. She got the door open, and it's funny because this door jams. So I'm like, how the hell she get the door open?
Oh, that's funny.
Because I jam it on purpose so people don't come in here.
Ah.
The whole frame's like a little bit off, so you can like pick up and push the door, and it'll jam, so you can't get in.
Oh, okay. All right. So you got it booby trapped.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get a teenage kid and your wife's a former kickboxer and just kicks the damn door in on him. So
Yep. That'll do it. That'll definitely.
Anyway, enough about the normal day to day. I guess we can wrap up into this thing because it's going to be a doozy. I think we're going to be talking about this one part of the show for a minute, probably. So
Yeah. Do you want to do the birthdays first, like always, or do you want to just come right off the top rope? So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got the story about that, so I mean, I guess we can wait till we get into the story and then we can just talk about it from there. But
all right, that'd be fine. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Kind of coincides with it, so
that makes sense.
But yeah, birthdays this week, April 29th through the May the 5th. So this is a shorter list, but it's it's a who's who.
It's a doozy. I've seen some of the
name.
I've seen some of the names from this week. Yeah,
I was doing this, and I'm like, holy shit! At the band names on this thing. So
yeah.
All right, we'll kick into this thing. April 29th, we had Mark Kendall, a guitarist for Great White. April 30th, we had a Denny Kamasi. He was a session and touring drummer with Montrose and Sammy Hagar from 72 to 79, and then with Hart from 92 to 93, and currently with Whitesnake, looks like. So, did I cut out?
I mean, for a split second, but I still heard everything. So,
okay. I'm just making sure because I seen it freeze a little on YouTube, so I was like, but honestly, YouTube's a little bit behind us, so I'm kind of like, I'd rather watch it on Facebook because it's actually live, but
right,
whatever. It's weird. The Facebook thing is so weird. I don't know. I still haven't figured out why it does it one way and not the other. I don't get it, but whatever.
Yeah, that is.
Anyway,
it is. Yeah, it's weird.
April 30th. Yeah, April 30th, we had a Denny Kamasi session and touring drummer with Montrose and Sammy Hagar from 72 to 79, and with Hart from 82 to 93, and with Whitesnake. I guess he's currently touring and session drummer for Whitesnake. I'm not sure, but um, then we had Apollo Jr., Apollo Pinto Jr., bassist for Sepultura and Morbid Visions. We had and I apologize because I don't know Nacio's if he has a last name, but he is the guitarist for Life Denied. All I see was Nacio, so that's what I wrote down. So,
Yeah.
you can only talk about what they talk about. So they don't put it out there. I don't know. So,
Right.
so I mean, you can't keep up with everybody. It's almost impossible. So,
Mm-hmm.
and like a lot of these names, like I don't know, I forget I know. Honestly, they'll say, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy." Or,
Yeah.
So May 1st, we had Mark Scott, drummer for Trickster, and then we had Andrew Rockhold, aka Andy Leo, singer and keyboardist for Crown the Empire, which they had a new album out that's pretty badass, by the way. May 2nd, Marcus Grunny Grunstrom, guitarist for our buddies over at Methane. Um, and we had Mike Vega, bassist for Life Denied. So I apologize if that is not correct, but because they have a Mike as a guitarist and a Mike as a bassist, so I'm not sure which one's birthday it was because it just said Mike. So,
Oh, okay. I
so
gotcha.
yeah, so way to confuse us, Life Denied. Thank you.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I told him I would shout those guys. Actually told him on our he's on our group page on Facebook, and I said, well, I'll give give him a shout out on the podcast. And he said, oh, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
apologize if it's the wrong mic, but one of the mics had a birthday. Uh, yeah, yeah. Maybe I just do them the same way. Mike from Life Denied.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. They'll know who it is.
Yeah. Then we had May 3rd. We had Josie. Yeah, right. May 3rd. We had Josie Scott, a singer for Saliva, and we had Bobby Blitz Ellsworth, vocalist for Overkill. So May 4th, we had Mick Mars. Robert Allen Deal is his real name, if you didn't know. Guitarist for Motley Crue. And what's so weird about this is that there's always an alternative date of April 4th of 55 on here, and I'm just like, okay, is it April or May? Like, I don't.
Right.
So I guess it depends. I guess it depends on who's reporting it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also on May 4th, we had Gary Holt. Of course, he's guitarist for Slayer and Exodus. We had May 5th was the doozy. We had Bill Ward, drummer for Black Sabbath. We had Dick Kemper, vocalist and bassist for Vandenberg. Steve Stevens, guitarist and songwriter for Billy Idol. We had James Debris, singer for Dream Theater. We had Sean Drover, drummer for Megadeth. Wade McNeil, guitarist for Alex is on Fire. And last but not least, Sky Sweetnam, vocalist and songwriter for Sumo Psycho. So I just want to say something about Sumo Psycho. Like, I met Sky after the show, and like her personality on and off stage just makes you like that band whether you want to or not. So she definitely does her job as a front woman. So, but very very sweet young lady. So, but happy birthday to all of those. Do you have anybody personal to add?
No, awesome. Not this week. Not this week.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Nope, not this week.
So, all right. Well, and that being said, happy birthday to those. And then if I missed anybody, I apologize. Happy birthday to them as well, because I'm sure there's plenty of other bands out there that probably had members that had birthdays. It just wasn't listed. So,
yep.
And then, of course, like always, if anybody out there listening has a birthday, happy birthday to you as well. So, I guess that. I guess we can jump into the news of the week now. So,
and boy, do we have some news.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am going to lead off as usual this week, And we do have a passing to report this week, unfortunately. We're going to start off over at the PRP with that one. Jordan Blake, who served as the original frontman for post-hardcore outfit A Skylit Drive, has passed away. Blake originally exited the group in 2007 for health-related issues. However, in early 2022, he and some of the band's other early members resurrected their incarnation of the group for select live performances. The return led to confusion and controversy as a bitter trademark lawsuit with current A Skylit Drive vocalist Michael Jagman erupted. The then Blake fronted faction of the group would go on to file a countersuit, with those proceedings still moving forward as of last month. While Jagman appears to have retained the band's trademarks thus far and continues to perform as a Skylit Drive, Blake and company were functioning under the moniker of Original ASD. However, Jordan and Jagman would go on to mend fences this year, with the pair issuing a joint statement this past March. Blake discussed that union as "quote unquote" a journey of healing and new beginnings. In that same post, Blake also opened up a bit on his struggles with addiction and mental health. Blake's decision to side with Jagman was not well received by Blake's original ASD bandmates. It was that faction of the group who broke the sad news of Blake's death earlier today, that being Monday, May 1st. The below statement was issued on the matter. Quote, "We are overwhelmed with grief to inform you the loss of Jordan early this morning. Jordan was a trailblazer in the emo post-hardcore music scene with undeniable passion, who loved his fans like family. When he had a story to tell, you could read it in his lyrics, hear it in his voice, see it in his movements, and feel it in your depths. We will forever reflect fondly on the memories and music we shared. We love you, Jordan. We'll see you down the road. Brother. Always in our hearts." End quote. "We want to respect Jordan's family's wishes for privacy and space to grieve, so we will not be commenting until further notice. Thank you all for reaching out and for your kind words. His legacy will live on through all of you." I guess that's the actual end quote. I was a little premature with the end quote there. Yeah. It doesn't say, obviously, we don't have a cause of death and we don't have an age. So, any cause of death comes along, I will post that, or I will pass that along to you guys. And in that vein, I'm going to jump ahead of you for just a second, Jason. I've got a follow-up from something we reported on at the end of last year over at Blabbermouth.
Okay.
The surviving members of the dead Kennedys have released a statement in response to the report from the Los Angeles Medical Examiner regarding the death of band's longtime drummer D.H. Peligro. According to the report, which was obtained by TMZ and the LA Times, Peligro, born Darren Henley, died last October due to combined effects of fentanyl and heroin. The report says he also suffered from non-small cell lung cancer, but the medical examiner is pointing toward the combination of drugs as the official cause. Peligro is 63. Earlier today, being Wednesday, May 3rd, the Dead Kennedys released the following statement via social media. Quote, "D.H. Peligro had his battles. What the TMZ and LA Times articles leave out is that he was battling cancer and the chemo and radiation treatments did not get it all. His health was failing. When the police on the scene called East Bay Ray, they told him it looked like he died from a fall in the bathroom and said that's usually caused by an accidental trip. Ray told the officer about DH's cancer and his failing health. Now we know more was involved. Peace, brother. You will always be in our hearts. Rest in power." So there we go. We got a little bit more clarity on what happened there with him. It sounds like it may have been like a combination of things.
Right.
If I remember correctly, back to October when we first reported, I think I remember them saying that they thought it may have been from where he fell and hit his head because of where they found him. But looks like that may not have been the case. I mean, he may have hit his head. If he did, they found him in the bathroom. So, obviously when he collapsed, he may have hit his head, but it looks like that wasn't the actual cause of death. So,
right. And it's unfortunate. Like, these rock stars need to realize this isn't 1984 where, it's not the same heroin Nikki Sixx was dosing up. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful with the drug uses nowadays. So it's not always what it seems to be. So,
yeah. And hell, he fucking died twice anyway.
All right. Before we get into the rant. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, even just the heroin by itself is dangerous. So, so you add anything else to it, just makes it worse. And we know there's been personal personal deaths of the same scenario to me anyway. I had two neighbors, that they had young kids that they tampered with that and lost that battle. So, um, that's what I'm saying. You just don't know anymore. It's like it's crazy. Unless you're manufacturing it yourself, probably wouldn't use it. So.
Yep.
So, all right, my first one's over from Loudwire. Before we get into the rant that we're probably going to get into, this one was this one kind of goes off of a story we did last week, a little. This one over from Loudwire. Live Nation has just announced this year's concert week, which will afford fans the ability to purchase tickets to over 3,800 shows for just $25 pre-tax, and yes, that includes all associated ticketing fees as well up front. So there you go. The deal is open to shows in North America from May 10th through the 16th, and is a surefire way to ease the burden of attending high-priced concerts that have become rather standard since live music roared back in the wake of the pandemic. One of the rare expectations to these exorbitant prices that have led to the massive revenue swells for Live Nation is, of course, The Cure, who worked tirelessly to ensure their fans can purchase affordable tickets. So if you've been holding back on buying tickets to see your favorite bands because of the price, mid-May will be the time to strike for a chance to enhance your summer. Fans of all genres will benefit, and further down this page, you can see a list of the dozen of rock and metal artists with the $25 ticket offer, which I will get into that in a minute. And that's not nearly all of the participating events either. To find out which shows are part of the concert week, head over to dedicated Live Nation webpage, where you can also filter your search by participating events, venues, or artists. There's even a pre-sale through Verizon and Rakuten. Is it Rakuten? Rakuten?
I think it's Rakuten.
I don't know. I ain't familiar with that one. So
I could be wrong.
Rakuten?
Too.
Okay.
I think so.
I don't know. Whatever. I've never heard of that. So beginning May 9th from, I guess I'm just too old. I don't know. Or just too sheltered. I don't know. Actually, it's called working from home and never getting out. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's beginning May 9th from 10 a.m. Eastern time through 11:59 p.m. Eastern time that same day, while supplies last. Again, the $25 price includes all fees up front, and the only change in the price you can expect is the added tax at the checkout page, and that's, of course, because sales taxes are different in every state. All tickets are available while inventory lasts. Fees have been such a point of frustration for ticket buyers that President Joe Biden and his administration issued a call late last year for the Federal Trade Commission to crack down on hidden and junk fees. The president said they are unfair, deceptive, and add up. Meanwhile, Ticketmaster, owned by Live Nation, is trying to salvage their reputation by educating lawmakers on what these fees are, besides being bullshit, because we know what they are. Live Nation CEO Michael Rapino also addressed ticket prices and fees recently, suggesting the all-in model, which includes fees in the ticket total instead of getting an unwelcome surprise at the checkout screen, could be a way to move forward. Bands on the list are Avatar, Avenged Sevenfold, Baby Metal with Deathlock, Beartooth and Trivium, Breaking Benjamin, Def Leppard, Motley Crue, Disturbed, Dream Theater, Electric Cowboy, Ghost, Godsmack and Stained, Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top, Mudvayne, Nickelback, The Offspring, The Original Misfits, Pantera, Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper, Shinedown, Tarja, Volbeat, and Wasp. So that's just to name a few there. So if you're looking forward to seeing any of those, then you could probably head over on the 9th and get that cheap ticket.
Yeah, that's definitely not the comprehensive list, but it's a good start.
Yeah, well, I mean, I took out some of the ones that aren't really, hard rock, heavy metal type, but
right.
Besides Leonard Skinner and ZZ Top, because everybody knows who they are. So.
Yeah, of course. All right. Moving.
I guess I will. You want me to go ahead into this because you've read two, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, knock it out, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had an extra one more than you, unless you got something new that I didn't know about. So.
Nope, I don't have anything new other than what I passed along. But yeah, go right ahead. Let's get into the meat of this thing.
All right, then I will. Yeah. Let's get into the bit sessions.
Yeah.
This one over from Loudwire. Of course, it's probably at all outlets, honestly. But I got this one from
Yeah.
Livewire. Another year, another chance to increase the metal representation in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and another opportunity missed as Iron Maiden, though inducted on the fan ballot, were not among the names called when the induction list was revealed Wednesday morning, May 3rd. During a chat with Taryn Daly on the Odyssey check-in, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame CEO Greg Harris discussed Iron Maiden's absence from the inductees list, as well as commenting on other acts that are going in this year. As with previous years, it's the Rock Hall's voting body that ultimately determines who will be inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And even though in recent years there has been a fan ballot that accounts for just one vote alongside the rest of the voting body, Iron Maiden were this year's major metal nominee, following a year in which longtime peers, Judas Priest, were finally inducted. Not inducted; they were in the Music Excellence Award. That's different.
Yeah,
But
it is completely different.
way to like sugarcoat it.
Mm-hmm.
And with the new class just announced, much of the attention has been focused on Maiden missing the cut again. Quote: "We love that people care. They care if they're in or out, and their fans care." Harris explained in that when asked about Iron Maiden. He then added, "The truth is, anybody that's nominated, the odds are good, and they'll eventually get in. In fact, I think it may be a high 90% chance they eventually go in. Not them, just anybody that gets nominated." Um, he pointed to Rage Against the Machine as an example. This was their sixth time nominated, I believe, fifth time on the ballot or sixth time. And so sometimes it takes a while, said Harris, but let's see where it lands. Right now, let's celebrate this year's class, and we can start a debate about next year's class once the spotlight is off of this year's class. No, fuck you altogether. How about
Yeah,
that?
no, yeah, no,
This
we're gonna talk.
past
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this shit right fucking now.
this past weekend, it was revealed that Iron Maiden had the fourth highest total for the annual fan ballot with 449,682 votes. Interestingly enough, only leading fan vote getter George Michael was among those eventually inducted in this year's class, with Cyndi Lauper, Warren Zevon, and Soundgarden all missing the cut, uh, though favorites with the fans. So honestly, only one band the fan even voted for got in. So one person, honestly, but this is not the first time that Iron Maiden have been on the ballot, previously missing out in 2021 as well. In 2018, singer Bruce Dickinson declared that he would refuse the induction, proclaiming rock and roll music does not belong in a mausoleum in Cleveland. It's a living, breathing thing, and if you put it in a museum, then it's dead. It's worse than horrible. It's vulgar. That didn't stop the Rock Hall from nominating the band 3 years later. Kiss's Paul Stanley spoke up after the band was snubbed the first time, regardless of whether it matters to them. This was a quote from Kiss Paul Stanley, by the way, quoted, "Regardless whether it matters to them, Maiden not getting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is insanity." Stanley tweeted, "Regardless of who is writing in or not, the committee must induct them. They have helped spawn the entire genre of music. What else do they need to do?" End quote. And I agree with that. Like, what else do you want the people? Iron Maiden's invented a whole different type of metal, and they've been doing it since 1980s. So I mean,
Yeah,
what the fuck do you want from these guys? I don't get it. Like, I don't.
yeah,
I mean, Rage Against the Machine hasn't even been around. You know, as long for one, and second, they're not really a metal band. So, I
and
mean,
they and
Rock and Roll
and
Hall of
they
Fame, but we know the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame don't induct just rock and roll people either, which is bullshit, by the way, too.
mm-hmm.
Um, and the reason I say this was because there's already a hip hop Hall of Fame, there's already a country music Hall of Fame. Why do we have to include any of these people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't get it.
Yeah,
And
I don't.
we've said this 100 times too. Is like, why don't you just call it the Music Hall of Fame and get it over with, and we'll open up a Heavy Metal Hall of Fame somewhere else, because obviously you don't have a fucking clue about what you're doing as far as the metal genre. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good thing is there is a heavy metal Hall of Fame, thankfully, because like you said, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame wouldn't, the I'm not going to lump everybody in because
right,
we know that there are some metalheads on the board, and I guarantee you they voted for Iron Maiden. But
yeah,
by and large, like that, I don't the who's the head of it, who was quoted in that article, that guy's a fucking idiot and is full of
yeah,
shit.
he is,
You
yeah,
can't you can't sit here like here's the thing. If it was like I'm just gonna throw out some names because you had Iron Maiden, you had Soundgarden, and you had Rage Against the Machine.
Right.
And then let's just say, for sake of argument,
Yeah.
I mean, Priest is hell, Priest isn't even an official inductee. So let's say Priest, and let's just pick out some. Let's just pick out some bands who are still around, who have been around forever. Let's just say you have Aerosmith, you have the Scorpions, you have,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you have 8, 10, 12 actual bona fide and heavy metal bands, and every year they want to knock it down to 5, and Iron Maiden gets left out in favor of 5 other actual heavy metal or rock and roll bands. You're not going to have the uproar that you have when you're inducting fucking Willie Nelson and Missy fucking Elliott, who, by the way, me was dead fucking last on the goddamn fan ballot. It was either
Yep.
you told me or one of my coworkers told me, because
I texted you that. So.
it was you. That's right. It was. So first of all, not even close to a fucking rock and roll performer, talking about Missy Elliott. Hell, Dolly Parton
Mm,
last year wanted them to take her off the ballot. She even said, "I don't belong here," and they fucking ignored her.
exactly.
That should tell you
Yeah.
all, that right there should tell you all you need to know about the credibility of the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of that, I mean, wasn't LL Cool J inducted last year? I think. Maybe, I don't know.
Who's that?
There was LL Cool J. Wasn't LL Cool J inducted last year too? I think.
It
I
was either
think he
last
may
year or
have
the
been.
year before. It's been
But
recent.
still,
Yeah.
but still, I don't. I just I don't and won't understand what they're doing as long as this organization insists on calling itself the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like you said, if you want to change it to the Music Hall of Fame, fine. Just do it that way. That way we will know for sure that you're going to do whatever the hell you want to anyway, and then we'll all just move on. And then when we report about this shit, it'll just be, hey, such and such band got inducted to the Music Hall of Fame this year. Congratulations. Instead of having to sit here and be pissed off about the fact that you are screwing over a legitimate contender for a Hall of Fame, and in their place putting somebody who has absolutely no business being there. No business. Willie Nelson and Missy Elliott, are you kidding me? They have no business. They had no business being on the ballot. No business
Yeah.
being on the ballot. And I will say this, Kate Bush only made it because of Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even
The
know who
thing
the
is
fuck I
like,
didn't even know who the fuck Kate Bush was until fucking Stranger Things came out. I had never heard that
the
damn
thing
song until
is,
until that show came out.
right. The thing is like they should change it to the Music Hall of Fame, and they should have ballots for each genre of music within that, so that at least 2 to 3 bands from each genre gets in to that wing or whatever.
Now, see, that
I
makes
think that would be a
100% more
better,
sense.
yeah, that's a lot better way to do it than to call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and you're inducting rappers and stuff in it. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I have no Missy Elliott's a great performer. I mean, I grew up on that, listening to that kind of music. I mean, of course, going to clubs and stuff, you're going to hear it, but it's not, it's not my preferable music by no means. Of course, we know that's why we run a metal shows, because this is what we
Right.
love to do, what I love to talk about and love to listen to. So,
Yeah.
but we do know who these people are, and
Yeah.
I mean, even Cyndi Lauper. Cyndi Lauper was a rock artist. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't. She's not a metal artist, and it's called the
No.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's not the Heavy Metal Hall of
Right.
Fame. We get it, but at least she was a rock artist. I mean, I don't even know. I still consider George Michael pop. I don't even
I do
consider him
too.
rock.
I
So I
do
mean,
too.
you know, um, so it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just they're just, I don't know. They just got their heads in their asses, man. I don't get it. Like, uh,
Right. Right.
and
Because
plus to put Rage Against the Machine even over Soundgarden's a fucking slap in the face to me. I mean,
I think so.
Chris Cornell is one of the, one of the best voices in music, and you just fucking shit on him for everything he's done. And not only with Soundgarden, he's been in Audio Slave. I mean, he's done so much more than just a
Mm-hmm.
Soundgarden
Yeah.
that you just shit on him. It's like,
Yeah.
really, like, and Iron Maiden, man, like I wouldn't blame. If I was Bruce Dickinson, I would show up and I fucking throw that award in a goddamn trash can. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I would do. I said, I don't
Yeah.
fucking want this bullshit. This is where it belongs, right here in this fucking trash can.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, and I'm literally just speaking for myself. I'm not even trying to speak for the show at this point. I'm just speaking for myself. I've always kind of thought Rage Against the Machine was kind of overrated anyway. And if they weren't so, I think if Rage Against the Machine wasn't so outspoken politically,
Yeah.
I don't even think they would have gotten as popular as they did, because
Mhm.
they were always so, fuck you, I won't. They were always so
Right.
anti-establishment, and so overtly vocal about it. I think that's
The,
kind of what got them the fan base that they did. So, like I say,
the
just
keyword the
just
keyword
my
there is
opinion.
was.
Right. Just my opinion. That's just the opinion of the speaker right now. So
Yeah.
I've always thought Rage Against the Machine was a little bit overrated. I really think Tom Morello was overrated. If it wasn't for fucking
Mhm.
distortion pedals, he would just be another regular goddamn
Yeah.
guitar player.
Yeah.
So
But you had to beat him
it,
in Guitar Hero, man.
well, you did, um, but I'm not surprised that they got in. I'm not surprised that they got in. I'm not even upset that they got in. I'm not upset that they got in. Um,
Well, another band that we're not even talking about is the White Stripes. I mean, at least they're rock and roll. I mean, you
True.
know,
Yeah.
and they were a two-piece band that put out that kind
Hmm.
of music.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
And
It's like, I
yeah.
mean, you
Yeah.
can't argue with the talent there. So
Yeah,
I don't.
and that's the funny thing is we're not even in, like, the artist that we talked about earlier. Willie Nelson.
Yeah,
Willie Nelson is a fucking legend.
yeah. Happy birthday,
Whether
Willie. By the way,
Yeah,
90 years old. So there you go.
yes. I mean, Willie Nelson is a fucking legend, but does he belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? No. We're not
No,
here.
man.
We're not here to debate the uh the careers of these other artists. What we're talking about is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's what we're talking about. Missy Elliott, George Michael. Like I say, I agree with you. George Michael's a pop artist. But yeah, Willie Nelson is a fucking legend. I mean, Willie Nelson's up there with Dolly Parton and Johnny
Yeah,
Cash
exactly.
and all those guys.
Yeah.
Willie Nelson is a freaking legend and an icon.
Mm.
He doesn't
Well, I mean,
belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
if you did that, if you talk to people about the Mount Rushmore of country music,
He'll
it's
be up
going to
there.
they're going to be Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, and George Jones. That's the four people that would be on there.
Probably. Yeah.
Unless you're
Yeah.
just fucking stupid and you think
Yeah.
Blake Shelton belongs to a motherfucker, but
Ugh.
uh, but
No.
I'm just saying, like that. Those people have. Willie's got a track. And by the way, if you haven't watched the Dukes of Hazzard with him in it, it's fucking hilarious. He
He
is
was
so good.
so
He,
good
he
in
is
that.
so good in that movie,
He
man. I
was
was
so
like,
good in that.
but
Well,
yeah,
you
it was.
remember
It
you
was
remember when he made that cameo in Half Baked too?
oh yeah, that is right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, do you remember how much condoms were in 1985? And John Stewart's like, no. He's like, hell, I don't either. We never used them.
Oh man, yeah. Willie's a funny dude.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
But
So yeah,
like I
but
said,
but that's the thing is we're not here to talk shit about like their
right.
careers or
Well,
anything.
no.
But with the establishment we're referring to, I mean hell, they need to be Willie Nelson needs to be inducted in Nashville if he hasn't been already.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that's another reason why we're so passionate about it, because we're in the center, of the Country Music Hall of Fame. So why? I mean, he deserves to be in there. I mean, but he
Yeah.
doesn't deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because he's not rock and roll.
Right. I will say this: if Willie Nelson's not in the Country Music Hall of Fame yet, there's something going on with that
Well,
establishment
no
too.
shit. Yeah.
Because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit how old he is. I mean, with the career he's had, if he's not inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame yet, that's an argument to be had too. Big time.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Majorly
like,
big time.
like I said, we don't keep up with that, but it'd be
Right.
interesting. It'd be interesting to know. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's worth looking up to see. But
Yeah, we may have to look into that, but yeah, I
yeah.
mean, but yeah, but that's the whole crux of it. They insist on being the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they
Mhm.
insist on inducting these artists that have no business being there. And I don't want to hear. And I know it was either last year or the year before last that blowhard was like, "Oh well, there's different definitions of rock and roll." Maybe, but not as broad of a definition as your dumbass wants to apply to it.
uh, it don't broaden out to a hip hop beat. That's for damn sure.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. And I
Uh,
would and I would be pissed off. I would be and like we said it before. We said it before and we'll say it again. If there's a rock and roll artist that gets inducted into like the hip hop Hall of Fame, I'll have an issue with that too.
Right,
because
exactly.
it's a genre specific Hall of
Mhm.
Fame. Like if Faith No More gets inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame, I'll have an issue. Seriously,
Well, yeah, I would
I
too.
would take issue with it because I mean they had like one song that had like a hip hop
Mhm.
bass line and it was epic. Other
Right.
than that, they were nowhere near a hip hop band.
No.
But if the Hip Hop Hall of Fame wanted to induct Faith No More and people would be pissed about it, I would be on the side of the pissed off people because
Right.
they would
Exactly.
have every business to be upset. So we are not we're biased, of course we are, but we're not we think it needs to be that way. We don't. I don't want to. I don't think Aaron Lewis should ever be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Because Aaron Lewis,
No, no.
dipped his toe in the country music, pond
Well, I
for a
mean,
little while. But
Steven Tyler from Aerosmith did too, but he don't belong in the Country Music Hall
right,
of
right,
Fame.
right. So if any of that ever happens with any of these other organizations, I'll be just as pissed off because
Well,
it's just as unwarranted.
so we'll be talking about this in some years to come, probably if we're still around. But I
Hmm.
guarantee you, Taylor Swift gets into the Country Music Hall of Fame,
Well,
even though
she
um,
should. She started off as a country artist.
yeah, but she converted into pop. So I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and she's probably making more money in the pop industry than she is in the country industry. I'm
Oh, I
assuming.
guarantee you that's not even close. But I mean, she made her name in country music, so that's the thing.
She
Is I,
did, but
so I mean, I won't. I mean,
what I'm saying is
I mean,
that there's a
personally, I won't care. But I also
oh, I
won't be
won't either.
surprised. Yeah, I won't
Yeah,
care. But
yeah, I won't either. But I'm just saying, there's an argument to be made there too. If you're on the country side, music side of things, and be like, oh no, she's a pop artist,
now, if Taylor Swift gets inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame,
Which,
come see
yeah,
me. Well,
yeah,
yeah,
it'll.
come see me.
I bet you it happens. I bet you it happens.
Probably.
Oh my god! If these dumbasses are still in charge of it by then, yeah, she'll definitely
Yeah,
be in there.
the way it's
Fucking,
going. The way it's going.
I don't. I mean, I just don't know what else to fucking say, man. It's just fucking playing out stupidity.
It is. It's just stupidity. They're they're what they're trying to do is they're trying to get people through the doors. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sell tickets and they're trying to get people through the door. I'll say this. I'll say this. I've never been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I would go. I would go just because of the amount of memorabilia that is got to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're doing under the guise of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is just stupid. It's just dumb. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to get bodies through the door.
Well, you're a better guy than I am because I wouldn't fucking step foot in a goddamn place myself. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
because
you give
to
well, I
me,
mean,
I'm not going to sit here and bash somebody and then walk into their fucking venue. So, I mean, that's just me. But
right. I definitely don't have any. I definitely don't have any impending plans to go. And
right,
you give me the choice between the two. Obviously, I'm going to the new Heavy Metal Hall of Fame first. Ten
right,
times out of
yeah,
10, I'm absolutely
yeah.
going there first.
Well, like I said, hopefully that's going to be a bigger thing to build up, and they can have their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and we'll just have our own thing and not worry about their ass.
Right.
But I mean, we do know that's there because Twisted Sister's in it, of course. But
Yep.
so I don't know
Absolutely.
how long has that been going on? I can't even remember. It
Not
hasn't been
very
very
long.
long. I was gonna say it hasn't been
No.
very long.
No, not very long. There, let me check it out real quick.
Uh,
Yeah, it hasn't been very long. Let's see.
man.
But yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, we hadn't like last year and the year before, I know I kind of gave a weekly running total of how the voting was
Yeah.
going. And then, I kind of, I kept track of it this year, same, but we didn't give any updates. And obviously once they announced the inductees, the same as you, my first reaction was like, are you fucking kidding me? Same as you, for obvious reasons. And then just,
Right.
here we are. So let's see. The
Who was that guy that was in it last year? We didn't even know who the fuck it was, but he was like him and Tina Turner were swapping back and forth for a long time.
Oh, fuck. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a like a Nigerian.
Yeah.
He was like a Nigerian folk artist or something like that. Something like that. Yeah, and that dude was winning forever.
Yeah.
He was in first
Yeah.
place like forever and ever and ever, and
Mm.
then slowly but surely Tina Turner caught him and passed him.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And then he got a Dominion dump in the middle of the night. So, uh,
Basically, let's
uh,
see.
she wasn't something like we went to bed and she was winning by like I don't know a couple 100,000 votes. And when we woke up and he was ahead again, I was like, what the
Something like that.
fuck?
Yeah, something like that.
Because we
Yeah,
actually
it
made
was.
that joke because that's kind of how the presidency went. So
Mm-hmm.
we were kind of like, oh, what happened here? So,
Let's see.
same voting system, I guess.
Yeah, probably the same machines. Let's see.
Uh,
Well, I'm on the Metal Hall of Fame's website. I'm trying to see if I can figure out when it opened.
where is that? Is that in California?
Where is it at? It is where is it at? Hang on. About
Yeah.
the
There's a
Metal Hall of
website. I ain't gonna. There's a website, but I'm not gonna give you the info.
the Metal Hall of Fame. I think it's in Anaheim.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, I thought it was in California somewhere.
I'm still looking for when it opened. Games Home. All right, hold on a second. I don't know why I can't find it on their own website, but
Yeah, that's crazy.
um, let's see. Heavy Metal Hall of Fame. First annual Hall of. Wait a minute. It looks like it may have opened in 16.
That's what I was thinking. I thought it was. For some reason, there was six was stuck in my head, and I knew it wasn't '06. That was too long ago. So
Right.
yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was around 16, but couldn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna be positive, so I couldn't be
So I do
positive.
believe it opened up in 16 and is in Anaheim, California. I mean, somebody might be able to fact check me on that if
Yeah.
if I'm off on a couple of things, but yeah, it's been open less than 10 years for sure,
Yeah.
regardless. So,
Yeah.
but
Well, anyway, there's
but
always
yeah,
that, I guess.
I would definitely. I mean, well, thankfully there is. I mean,
Yeah.
thank goodness there is.
What's crazy is you think about the festivals Ohio hosts, and they're mostly rock and metal festivals,
Yeah,
and they still can't get their damn Hall of Fame
still
right.
can't get it right. Yep.
Uh,
And hell, even Huey Lewis sang "The Heart of Rock and Roll" is in Cleveland. So
yeah, well, it used to be.
yeah.
Whoever's these, maybe Edge will take over one of these days, and we'll get some fair shake in the deal. But
Either that, or he needs to just start. Either that, he just needs to start handing out spears to everybody.
yeah, right. Just spear the fucking guy that said that shit.
Yeah, spears
Yeah,
all, especially that guy. That
yeah.
guy's full of shit.
Let him spear him, and Triple H come in and pedigree his ass on a table and
Oh, there you go.
be done with it. So,
Let Ray Ripley come kick him in the dick.
yeah. But anyway,
All right. Yeah.
let's.
All right.
I guess we will move on at this point. I guess if not, we'll be here all night talking about that bullshit. So
Yeah. All right. Staying over at the PRP. This one's going to be a situation that's going to be kind of ever evolving. I think. Between the Buried and Me have announced that their guitarist Dusty Waring will not be taking part in their summer tour celebrating their 2012 album, The Parallax 2 Future Sequence. That run is scheduled to take place starting on June 16th and feature Thank You Scientists and Rivers of Nile, a tour that we already announced on the Hit in the Road segment. Waring's absence from the tour comes about in the wake of a rape allegation, which was anonymously made against him on Reddit this past weekend. The alleged victim insisted in her statement Waring took advantage of her while she was drunk several years ago. She also claims she was impregnated during the alleged incidents and later had an abortion as a result. Waring himself has since issued this below statement via his social media on May 2nd on the matter. Quote, I have recently been made aware of allegations from 5 years ago, which were posted this weekend on Reddit. I do not condone non-consensual sex and have never acted without consent in any part of my private life or maliciously taken advantage of anyone. These allegations have come as a complete shock, having dedicated my life to being of service to people that need help in many forms of recovery. I will therefore be taking some time to spend with my family to focus on maintaining my several years of sobriety, which will include sitting out the Parallax 2 tour. With the exception of this statement, I will be dealing with this matter privately with my bandmates and discussing any future actions with my lawyer in order to protect myself and my family, end quote. Speaking today as well, Between the Barry and Me themselves offered, quote, Dusty Waring will not be performing the Parallax 2 Future Sequence Tour. We will have a session guitarist filling in at all scheduled dates. And like I say, the dates, we've already announced those, but they're at the PRP, and you can search those out anywhere you want to. So this one kind of smells a little funny to me.
Yeah.
You waited 5 years and you got impregnated but had an abortion.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, if you were raped and got impregnated, then I understand.
Right.
I do. I understand. I'm a pro-life person anyway, or
Right.
not pro-life, pro-choice. I'm pro-choice. I'm a pro-choice person anyway. So if that is what happened, I understand. And if that is what happened, then obviously the Dusty Waring should be held accountable. My issue in general is waiting so long. That's kind of my
Right.
thing. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna speculate too much. I don't know. On the face of it, it smells a little fishy. We'll see what happens going forward. We'll see if there's any proof she can offer to substantiate her claims. 5 years have gone by. There's not going to be any DNA evidence, and there's obviously no genetic evidence because there's no baby.
Right.
And she posted it on Reddit of all places. So I mean,
Yeah. Right.
you might as well have posted it on your Facebook page. So I mean,
might as well.
So not saying,
Tell you what,
I don't know. Like I say, it's going to be one of those situations that we kind of keep an eye on, and we'll kind of like pass information along as it becomes available. But it just seems like there's a better way that you could have handled it if it did happen. Maybe don't wait so long. Stuff like that. Don't do it on Reddit of all fucking places.
you should have at least went and gotten checked out at the hospital and got DNA swabbed and stuff.
Gotten a panel done. Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing that, for a lot longer than 5 years. I mean,
long time. Yeah, long time. And like I say, don't like make the allegations on Reddit. Fucking go to the cops. You can if you want to be anonymous, go to the police. They can keep it anonymous too. So I mean, I don't know.
It's like I've been hearing like so many of these type stories this week too, which I don't know. I know this isn't metal related, but there was one that came out about The Rock this week too.
Really?
Some lady said that her and her kid was kidnapped by Rock and a couple other wrestlers when he wrestled in WWE, and I'm like, well, fuck, that's been at least 20 years ago because Rock ain't wrestled in, probably since like 03 or some shit. So,
yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. I think that people just say, oh, he's worth $700 million now. Let's go sue his ass.
Right.
It's just bullshit. Like you can't better yourself in society without somebody else wanting a free ride. I don't get.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Like if it happened to you, fine, you should get something. But and another thing is you should be charged for making false accusations.
That's another
a fucking Hollywood figure. I mean,
even
that, just a figure. Period. Just anybody. Period. Because it's a false accusation.
Yeah, it is because, and especially nowadays with so much social media being out there, you can, even if it's just like regular Joes like you or I, someone makes an accusation like that, your life is basically over. Not literally, but your name is dragged through the mud, and and just the way things are now, you're guilty until proven innocent now, not innocent until proven guilty. Right. Someone says something about you, it's immediately, oh, well, they did it. So.
Well, if you look at, you watch that movie Horrible Bosses?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, the Charlie Day's character was pissing at night in a park, and they got him put him on a sex offenders list. He's like, it was fucking midnight. There ain't even kids out here.
Yeah.
so that's just kind of like how crazy it is. It's like, you're peeing in a park and nobody's there. Then how is it offending anybody?
Right. It's indecent exposure, but as far as needing to be on a sex offender list,
sex offender list, that's bullshit.
Right.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Funny as shit movie though.
It is. It is a funny movie. Yeah, my life's complete right now because Super Troopers is on something right now. I can't remember what I think it was Netflix or I think it may have been Netflix. It's on, so my life's complete for this week. So I love that fucking movie, man.
Yeah. Well, Super Troopers 2 was good too. So
It was, yeah.
it was good too.
I think my favorite part of that movie is when Will Sasso was telling him like, "No, that's not Danny DeVito. It's Danny DeVito's blah 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 blah." And he's like, "And what about that guy that was in Batman as the Penguin? That's Danny DeVito."
Yeah.
No, no. And
Yeah.
then dude goes to the kitchen and Will Sasso says, "I know Danny DeVito and all that. I'm fucking with him."
Yeah.
And then he comes in and the other guy starts fucking with him. He's like, yeah, it reminds me of that guy that's on that TV show, the Philadelphia show. And he's like, it's Danny DeVito.
Yeah. It's all the same character. Yeah. They keep fucking with him. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's carry on here. Over from Loudwire, still. Have you ever gone to a concert and gotten upset because of how obnoxious the crowd was being? A new study by No Deposit Fan has revealed the U.S. states with the worst concert crowds based on their behavior and what it is that people are doing during shows that's so obnoxious. In early April, No Deposit Fan surveyed 1,003 individuals from all 50 U.S. states who've attended at least one concert since the beginning of 2023. The majority of the participants were millennials, 47%. Like, that fucking matter. Who gives a fuck where they're from? Like,
right.
You did the survey, and only 6% were baby boomers. Like, that fucking has no credit either.
Not really.
Like, I don't know why. So let's do a thing, but let's still divide it. Divide people.
Mm-hmm.
More than half of them were male. 46% were female. That don't fucking matter either. What did they fucking do? And that's all we need. We don't need all this shit. So
3%. What was the annoying behavior? Yeah.
And here's even the worst one. 3% identified as non-binary or other. Like, who gives a fuck? The concerts were broken down by genre, so the data for all shows in general. The results show that 38% of respondents saw an increase in rude or disruptive behavior at concerts this year, and 33% asserted that they've witnessed much worse behavior since the COVID-19 pandemic started in March of 2020. The states where people reported seeing the most drastic changes in concert behavior were Kentucky and Maine, with 67% of people claiming crowds in those locations have gotten much worse. Over half of the respondents from North Carolina, Nevada, Mississippi, Virginia, Nebraska, Vermont, Missouri, Delaware, Georgia, Idaho, Iowa, and Maryland also noted that audience had gotten more disrupted this year. On the other hand, people from Alaska, Louisiana, Montana, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Rhode Island, South Dakota, and Wyoming didn't report seeing any changes in crowds at all. Well, probably because I don't know if I've ever seen Alaska on a fucking tour list. Who would have thought, hey, let's put Anchorage on there.
Yeah.
Let's do it in December, too. Like, fucking.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, fucking dumbass.
We're going to have the stage on an iceberg, yeah.
Yeah, right. So what exactly is that people are doing that is so rude and disruptive? It shows excessive use of smartphones, loud talking, disregarding personal space, littering, pushing and shoving, which is called moshing.
Well, for the most part, it is, yeah. But I think I know what they're. I think they know.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
Yeah.
Excessive intoxication, which I mean,
that's been going on forever.
Who the fuck cares? Yeah, I mean, if they're not if they're not in your face and pouring drinks on you or something, who the fuck cares? Live streaming the event without permission and ignoring venue rules were the 8 most reported behaviors that others found obnoxious at concerts. The only big thing that I hate at concerts, and it's been going on for years, is the 6'4" motherfucker that's already in front of you and has to put his goddamn camera up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, motherfucker, you're already 6'4" and over the top of everybody. Why the fuck you got to go another 8 foot over your fucking head to record something?
Yeah,
man, that shit just kills me.
Yeah,
dude. It's like, what the fuck? But other than that, I mean, I don't, like I said, a lot of that shit's kind of, I mean, loud talking. I mean, really, if the music's fucking where it's supposed to be, you're not going to hear any of them motherfuckers talking.
Yeah, every concert I've ever been to has been loud. So I mean, if you're gonna try to talk to somebody, you're gonna be talking loud.
You're gonna be doing it during intermissions. That's what you're gonna be doing.
Most of that stuff on that list to me is like they're kind of like more peeves for me. You know, right. I take pictures at concerts, and I know you take pictures at concerts, and you'll even take video clips here and there. But I don't understand watching the whole concert through your
Maybe.
phone. I don't understand that. The whole pushing and shoving thing, what annoys me is like most of the concerts we go to, like especially here lately, we've been going to like smaller venues where everyone's standing up. And what annoys me are when people like by the rail or like, a couple, like maybe two or three people deep, they'll get out and they'll either go to the bathroom or they'll go get
Yeah,
a drink. And then
and then think they're supposed to get their spot back. Yeah,
right. So that annoys me. I'm like, no, fuck you. You're here. You stay here.
yeah.
You get
Move your
you get
face, you
out.
lose your
Yeah,
place, brother.
yeah. You get out. You're done. You know.
Uh,
And of course, I fucking hate littering anyway. I can't stand
well,
that shit.
yeah.
I don't like it at concerts. I don't like it at movie theaters. I don't like it at sporting events. So I mean,
Well, I don't know.
littering
I don't
annoys me in general. But
littering and littering
yeah,
and.
smoking the reefer. That's right. Speaking of Super Troopers, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but yeah, I don't know if you've seen that picture I posted from AMC where I was at that movie a while back.
I did.
Where that motherfucker,
Yeah.
oh, I was so goddamn hot, dude.
Yeah.
Mainly because I used to be a supervisor over a cleaning crew at a theater,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like, these are the kind of motherfuckers you wanted to fucking find out there and just beat the shit out of them
Yeah.
because. To me, it was like this. Okay, we understand popcorn's going to get spilled. Little M&Ms are going to fall. I mean, that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
When you leave a big ass bowl of popcorn, a cup, and everything in your fucking seat, like there's a trash can. You got to walk past the motherfucker to get out of the fucking theater.
Mm-hmm.
Throw it the fuck away.
Yeah.
Like, don't leave that fucking shit in there for somebody.
Yeah.
That shit pissing me.
Yeah.
Ushers don't get fucking tips, by the way. So
no, they don't.
That's another thing. Like, if you want to make a mess and tip the motherfucker, then give him $20 on your goddamn way out and say, hey, there's a mess up there. Don't fucking just leave it for. And I'm like, man, I hate to see their fucking house, dude. If they shit like that for somebody else, like Jesus Christ.
That's kind of like,
but yeah, some people just don't have any fucking compassion.
No,
for
they have
person at all,
there's no common courtesy. Of course, like the past 2 or 3 times I've been to a movie theater, I've literally had to tell, and I didn't do this shit for the longest time, just because of who I am. But like the last 2 or 3 times I've been to the movie theater, I've literally had to get in someone's ear and be like, "Turn off your motherfucking phone."
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't do that shit for the longest time. But like at least the past 3 times I've been to the movie theater, I had to be like, hey, dude, put your phone away. And this one time I kicked this woman's chair in front of me because, you got the stadium seating. So so I like kicked her chair because like she kept like taking it out and doing shit. She'd take it out and doing shit. And after like the second or third time of like, hey, can you please put your phone away? I fucking kicked her chair and I said, put the damn phone away. I mean, so you got those people and you got the litterers. Those people at a movie theater are kind of like shopping cart people in parking lots at grocery stores for me. I fucking hate those people too. I can't stand that shit.
Oh man,
cannot stand that shit.
That's crazy.
All right, well, I've got one more headed over to Metal Injection for this one. Have you ever looked at a band like Death Clock and wished you had a say in what they were up to, musically or otherwise? Distilled down to its core, that's what the Shredders is, and you're going to want a part of it, trust me. That's the opinion of the author, not necessarily mine. The Shredders is a virtual supergroup that exists in its own Shredderverse and who offers everything from collectibles to kick-ass new music. On the latter, we're streaming Shredders featuring Testament guitarist Alex Skolnick as a brief offering of what to expect. The Shredders will release their debut album this summer featuring additional guest spots from, get a load of this shit, Gary Holt of Slayer and Exodus, Derek Green of Sepultura, Brandon Ellis from the Black Dahlia Murder, George Lynch of Dokken and the Lynch Mob, Dan Lilker of Anthrax and Nuclear Assault, Tina Bergamashi and Jessica DeFalci of Crypta, Dave Davidson of Revocation, and damn stupid pop-up fucking ads, Jessica Pimentel of Brujeria and Orange is the New Black. Again, kick ass. On the collectibles and communities bit, the Shredders and their Shredderverse exists as a Web3 native, community-driven entity with dynamic NFTs. The Shredders is the first ever music project featuring automated dynamic NFTs, dubbed Access Passes, linked to streaming data. Meaning, as the band gets streamed more and the community grows, Shredder's Access Pass will transform to showcase new art and unlock new experiences. Not to mention that holders have a direct say in the band's future, Okay, they put that part in the same sentence twice. Not to mention that holders have a direct say in the in the band's future, from adventures to musical endeavors to single collaborations, merch design, artwork, touring plans, and get access to a Shredders dedicated Discord. Quote, the Shredders are the first virtual band to connect streaming data with a dynamic NFT facilitated by The Orchard's existing partnerships with major DSPs and new relationships with Chainlink and OpenSea, said Tom Wheely, SVP New Business The Orchard. By owning a Shredder's Access Pass, fans will become members of an engaged community that participates in determining the future of the project and be rewarded for it with both artist access and utility, end quote. On May 16th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, the first collection of 1,000 Shredder's Access Passes will be available to claim for free on NFT marketplace OpenSea. And I have yet to listen to that new single, but hey, if Alex Skolnick is on board and Gary Holt's going to be making an appearance, you got my attention.
Well, if you want a taste of that, the playlist is posted right there. That the song with Alex Skolnick is on there. So
there you go.
Hey, Sepsis.
Hey guys. Good evening. Long time no see.
Yeah, that's cool. And I'll actually Colby from
Colby's
from,
here.
From Halo Scars is on as well. So we appreciate you guys stopping in with us. So.
Yeah, it's I guess it's easier to catch these guys at 11 o'clock in the evening than 11 o'clock in the morning.
So. Well, if you follow Halo Scars, they've been a pretty busy band too. And of course, if you follow on Sepsis, they've went through kind of a lineup change. So
a little bit.
So they're actually working on some stuff with the new lineup. So that's pretty cool that. All that they still got everything popping. So if you don't know those two bands, go check them out. Halo Scars just did a big show with Cold, opening up for Cold, which was a big thing for. I know Kobe loves that band, so it was pretty cool for them to get that experience, man. Like it's almost like hate to bring it back to wrestling, but if I was wrestling my idol or something, So, but awesome. Glad you guys are doing great, man. Like I said, I know you guys going through some changes there, and I know the growing pains hurt sometimes, but you guys seem to be just chugging along with it. So it's awesome to see. So
absolutely,
yeah. That Northeast, man. It's like of course with Extinction AD, we talk about them too. I seen where they had a bunch of shows lined up there. So man, that little area pops, dude. Like, I don't think there's anybody in that area. Yeah, definitely was a show. I bet it was, man. They got to hang out with them and stuff. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, that area up in the Northeast, man, like it's fucking like if there's a metalhead up in there and they can't find a show, man, something's fucking wrong, dude. That's all I can say because like man, like a lot of the bands that we follow and talk to are from that area, and they got shit going on all the time, like fucking crazy.
The northeast of the northeastern part of the country is kind of an underrated hotbed. I would definitely say.
It is, yeah. I would definitely say so. It's a spot for sure, yeah. But yeah, to have all that at your backyard, man, is something to don't take for granted, because sport in New England is extremely competitive. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, so. And like I said, Halo Scars just put out their little list of their upcoming shows too. So if you're around in this area, and I know they got that big thing going on in Florida with Metal and Tats coming up too. So
next month, that's coming up real quick.
It's creeping up fast, man.
It is very fast.
We were talking about this 6 months ago and trying to make plans to go with them, and now it's like here, it's like, oh
yeah,
shit.
It's getting close. Yeah.
All right, I got one more as well over from Blabbermouth. Armored Saint's long-awaited documentary, Armored Saint Band of Brothers, will have its world premiere in the band's hometown on Tuesday, May 23rd at the Harmony Gold Theater in Hollywood, California. Director Russell Charrington will attend to introduce the film and hold a question-and-answer session after the film with members of the group. Armored Saint Band of Brothers celebrates the 40-year career of Armored Saint and the 50-year friendship the band members have shared from school in El Sereno, a Los Angeles suburb. Many friends of the band have given interviews, such as James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich from Metallica. They tell tales of their early days touring with Scott Ian of Anthrax, talks about seeing Armored Saint in 85. Queensryche members Eddie Jackson and Todd LaTorre talk about the shared history. key music industry figures and producers, A&R men, roadies, record label executives, and family share their thoughts and stories about the band's 40-year history as well. Tickets are on sale now for fans and include a commemorative ticket and an exclusive A3 poster. Get your tickets over at Eventbrite. So cool, man. It's cool to see that. Like, we talk about a lot of the I get back to his comment in a second. But you talk about a lot of the bands that Exodus and Testament and all those bands that you always seem to be like in the core 5 or 6 thrash metal bands around. But Armored Saint's been around, probably longer than some of those bands. So it's kind of crazy because I mean we did that story. Yeah, we did that story where John Bush was asked to at least sing for Metallica at one time, and Armored Saint was more of an established band at the time, so he couldn't like just take off onto a new venture when he already had a band established. So it's cool to see that, man. Because I'm a big John Bush fan anyway. I love John Bush. So.
Oh yeah, he's got an amazing voice.
And over to Kobe's comment, he said they're hitting 2 shows with Tala in 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, that's
pretty fucking awesome.
That is awesome.
Like, man, dude, y'all are opening up for some pretty big hitters, man. That's pretty cool, and very well deserved, man. Like I said,
so.
Their catalog goes a little bit above, beyond what they actually have on, as far as like on Spotify and stuff. So, because I seen them live and I seen the set list. And I'm like, well, shit, I've never even heard of this song. But man, hell of a show too. Like Jason even came out in the crowd playing guitar and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I remember you.
If you get a chance,
I think I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah. I took a picture with him. He was out there playing with me. I was like, hey. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, they're definitely cool guys, man. I love those guys. So, all right. So that's all we got, right? No, you had.
Nope. That was my last one about the Shredders. So yeah, I'm good.
Right. We'll go through the other headlines here. Ted Nugent's concert in Alabama canceled over his radical political views, which is fucking stupid in my opinion. So, we talk about this like,
and what I think is weird that it was a concert in Alabama that got canceled over his radical political views. That's kind of
yeah.
It's not like he was trying to have a concert in L.A. and it got canceled.
Right, exactly.
Alabama of all places.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that's crazy because we talk about this on here. It's like Rob Flynn's we talk about his political views and we don't see eye to eye with a lot of what Rob Flynn says, but
no, we don't.
That does not make me not want to go see them live. I don't give a fuck about his political views.
Right.
I mean, if Ted Nugent stops what he's doing, playing, and tries to preach to the fucking crowd about political shit, then yeah, I get it. But I mean, if you're out there seeing them perform music and that's all you're doing, then I mean, what the fuck is the goddamn big? I don't get it, dude. Like, it's what he believes in his political views should not cross over into his music playing. And bands shouldn't carry that over with them either. So I mean, as long as they're not doing that, then it shouldn't matter.
I agree.
Nuno Betancourt's severe knee injury forces cancellations of Extreme's appearance at the M3 Rock Festival. So
I saw that he like blew his knee out playing basketball.
Yeah. So what at least it wasn't when I first read that I was like, man, how would you do that on stage? Did you jump off an amp or something like? But yeah, I read it and it said he was doing it playing basketball. I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense, I guess. So, yeah, you're not 15 anymore, Nuno.
No,
so, sorry.
Nope.
Tesla's guitarist Frank Hannon on possible retirement. He says, I don't see a deadline on this thing, which is cool because I think, to me, I get tired of these people asking these bands that have been around since the 80s that shit. Like, oh, when I think that was asked with oh crap. I just went blank. Bobby Blitz Ellsworth from Overkill. They asked him that shit a while back too. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why you keep asking these bands from the 80s and shit? Just let them fucking be, man. Like,
they'll know when it's time.
They'll let you fucking know when it's time.
Yeah, they'll know when it's time. Well, hell, even I think it was in the last week and a half or so. Even Lars was quoted as saying, "Well, hopefully we have another 10, maybe 20 years left on us."
Yeah,
So, I mean,
yeah.
hell, there even Metallica is starting to get questions about it.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Like if y'all don't have anything to ask, but that is like, I mean, yeah, come on our show. We'll fucking
yeah,
ask you the real shit.
yeah. Hey, Colby, when are you guys retiring?
Yeah, yeah. uh, I expect him to say something like, "Well, Jason's already halfway there." So, uh,
Halo Scars is going to have to retire because Keegan keeps getting grounded. So,
yeah, there you go. Oh man. He ain't never gonna live that down.
no, they never should have told us that shit.
Well, yeah. Uh, you were spot on with the Jason comment. Yeah, I love Jason though, man. He's a good dude. Corey Taylor says Roadrunner Records didn't push his debut solo album because they didn't care, which may be the whole reason they left Roadrunner altogether. Because
probably didn't help.
Yeah, but you can't tell the lead singer of Slipknot and then don't expect Slipknot to drop too. I mean, kind of goes hand in hand. So
yeah.
KK's Priest, Ace Frehley, Joe Satriani, except in the darkness among the first confirmed bands for Monsters of Rock 2024 cruise. Once the whole lineup's announced, I will report on that. But it seems like that's going to be a little ways away before they get done with all of it, I'm sure. But Ghost actually won a Swedish Grammy Award for Impera. Congrats to them. Even though we're not Ghost fans, that's pretty cool that they won.
Yeah,
run a Grammy.
I'm still okay with that. So
yeah, it's cool. Anytime we're getting props for what we do in our actual field, and that's a good thing. So
agreed. Yeah.
Josie Scott is fine with Saliva carrying on without any original members. They will do the honorable thing. I mean, at some point you have, like we've talked about this, like at some point your band's not going to have all original members. I mean, it's going to happen at some point.
Hell, even Skinnerd is to the point now. Even Skinnerd is to the point now where there's no original members left now that Gary Rossington has died.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then Ozzy and this one we'll touch on because of our buddy Ricky was talking about this the other day, not the other day, but when on our podcast. Ozzy on returning to live shows, he said, "I've got to do more gigs, even if I have to get someone to wheel me out there." Which you want to check out Ricky Rockman's response to that, you can look us up on Spotify and listen to that interview, which is it's short. It's short, but it's definitely got something about Ozzy in there. So, I won't give it away. I'll make you listen.
Nope. No spoilers at all.
You gotta get them clicks, man. Shit.
That's right. Get them somehow.
Anthrax is back in the studio officially recording their new album, which is just fucking awesome. They've been talking about it for a while, but nothing's been made official, so they're officially in the studio. Which is, I mean, even if that's an early 2024, you're already looking at Priest and Anthrax for 2024.
And potentially Testament, because they were saying they wanted to get something done by the end of 23. I bet that bleeds over into 24 also.
Yeah,
so
I mean it could very well, or it could be like a one of those last minute drops at the end of December, and then make us have to go back and listen to fucking 12 months worth of shit to put them in a lineup for the top 10. So.
Oh, you mean we'd have to find somewhere to shoehorn Testament into the end of the year review? Damn, man.
I know.
God. That would be horrible. That would be awful.
Yeah. This is something that you could probably agree on. Des Fafaris on Cold Chamber's first reunion, he said, "We were 10 years too early."
Probably. Yeah, probably.
I think the whole band was 10 years too early, in my opinion. But I think they would
that could be too.
I think it'd be much more successful if they were to came out in like 2010 or somewhere around in there.
Yeah,
but Devil Driver is pretty successful, so.
Yeah, I was about to say it's kind of one of those weird things that if Metallica doesn't kick out Dave Mustaine, we don't end up with Metallica and Megadeth. If Cold Chamber didn't kind of break up when they did, we don't get Devil Driver, and now we have Cold Chamber reuniting. So basically, we have Cold Chamber and Devil Driver. So sometimes things happen and good things
work out in our favor.
Yeah, something, as far as fans, sometimes things will, yeah, like you said, work out in our favor. We get two good music, we get two good musical acts out of one band either breaking up or having a hiatus or this, that, and the other thing. So
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so Kobe also said they have some things in the works after they get finished with the tour, which is cool.
I
So
see
hopefully we
that.
get a full release from them too. So I mean, we get some new Sepsis music, some new Halo
Hmm.
Scars music, and maybe some new interviews on the show. Hint,
Rolling right.
hint.
Yeah. Hint, hint. Yeah. Rolling right along.
Uh, yeah. Uh, yeah. Fallen in Reverse cancels this week's shows due to ongoing laryngitis and inflammation, which I think this has been an ongoing thing for a couple of weeks now. So, I
Yeah.
mean, at some point, I think they're just going to have to wind up marking it up to something a little bit more severe than laryngitis and inflammation.
Hmm.
I think you would be over that kind of issue in a couple of weeks. That's kind of scary, honestly, for Iraqi. So,
Yeah.
uh, Black Crown Initiate vocalist to front the Knee Obla on European tour. So,
Music video coming. Awesome.
we'll see. Oh, yeah, yeah. He told me about that. Yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I
dude.
forgot about that. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. We'll definitely share
Yeah.
that on the page for sure.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, that song is. I don't know if you've heard that yet. That song is so badass, dude. Uh, Nita Strauss says pop shows are free of the gatekeeping that afflicts rock and metal. Uh, eh, I mean, I don't know because I'm not a pop fan. So I guarantee if you wore a Prince shirt and you're 23 years old, somebody in their 40s is going to say, "Name a song from Prince, motherfucker." uh, I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what she's talking about, but I know that was mentioned in the story when I was reading it. I said, I wonder what she means by that. And I was reading it, and I said, I mean, I could see something to that extent, but then again, I think the thing with metal is it's so broad. You know what I mean? It's not like
Hmm.
with pop music, it's not as broad as metal. We say this like metal's one of the more broad music genres I think there is. I mean,
I think so too.
when you got 20, probably 20 some odd subgenres in the middle of the main genre, it's like fuck.
With bands literally all over the world, literally
Exactly.
all
Yeah.
over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when it comes to diversity in a genre, I'll that's a hill I'll die on. I'll die on
Yeah.
that hill
Exactly.
until somebody
Um,
proves me wrong. That's a hill I'm going to die on.
uh,
My only thing is not to harp on the gatekeeping thing because I mean, like we've said here plenty of times, like you and I, we're not black metal fans, but there's plenty of
mhm.
black metal fans. I don't have, I don't listen to it, but I'm not gonna, we're not gonna shame anybody. We're not really Tool fans here, not really. Um, not the
Well, I mean,
biggest Kiss, not
it's
the
kind of like.
biggest Kiss fans in the world either.
Well, no,
So
I
I
mean,
mean,
there's songs I like from Tool and Kiss,
right,
but I
right.
mean,
That's what I'm saying. But
to say I'm a fan, probably not. I mean,
yeah, so but
I don't. The thing is, I don't lean toward. Hey, I want to go listen to some Tool. You know,
right.
if it comes on and I'm listening to it, I'm be like, yeah, okay, that's Tool.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, we don't necessarily consciously make a concerted effort to go out of our way to avoid a band or a subgenre at all.
Yeah.
My whole thing, as far as anything gatekeepy, quote unquote, it does bother me. The whole, and we've talked about it on the show before here, the whole T-shirt thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't listen to that band or that genre of music, why are you? I mean, it benefits the artist, sure, but I
Well,
mean,
does it
but I
though?
mean, but I mean, I mean,
If you're buying
well,
the fucking shit
it all
from if you're buying the shit from Hot Topic, it ain't
it
benefiting them.
but still at the same time, I just like if I didn't listen to heavy metal or listen to Slipknot, it wouldn't. And like I say, this is just me.
Yeah.
Why it would be like because you and I, we have different sports allegiances. I'm not going to go
Mhm.
buy a Notre Dame shirt or a Dallas
Right.
Cowboy hat because I'm not a fan of those teams.
Right.
If you don't listen to heavy metal or a certain band, I don't understand the whole thing of you going out and spending money on a shirt of a genre and band you don't listen to. That's my only thing. Now at the same time, I don't lose sleep over it because people can
Mhm.
waste money on whatever they want. I just don't get it. I don't get
Yeah.
it.
I'll tell you what we need to do. We need to go out to Nissan Stadium and start converting some fans over to our side, to the Lions and to the Cowboys, since
I'm telling you what.
all the Titans fans are so fucking mad right now.
I'm telling you.
Oh, I had never seen like the draft blow up so much within this state. This is when they drafted that guy from was it Kentucky?
Kentucky, yeah,
But yeah, they drafted that guy, and everybody's fucking shit was like, "Fuck this shit!" Like
yeah.
we're 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 we're, we're going we're going some other team or something. Like, damn.
Hell, I
I seen
was
a funny meme too about. I seen another funny meme about that was Matt Stafford when they drafted the kid from Georgia. Well, I say kid. I mean the dude's like 30, but
almost damn near.
but it was funny because they said, yeah, they drafted somebody that Matt Stafford can learn from because he was older.
That's funny.
They said they needed a veteran quarterback that Matt Stafford could learn from. I was like, what the fuck?
That's funny.
That is
That's
hilarious,
funny.
though.
It is funny.
I was like,
Hell, I was
damn.
happy.
I had to look it. I had to look it up and said, "Damn, is dude really that old?"
He's like 27. He's like
yeah, he's up
27.
there. Yeah, he's up there. One guy was like 28 and got drafted.
I don't know. I
can't
don't know.
remember who that was.
Yeah, I don't know. But yes,
Yeah.
Stetson Bennett, he's like 27. But
Yeah.
hell, I was happy with the draft the Lions had.
Yeah.
I was happy with the draft they had. Cowboys had a solid draft too, to be honest.
Yeah, we made some solid moves all season too from other teams. So hopefully that kind of works out for us. We needed some deep threat, or not deep threat, but some people to keep from having some good corners. We needed some good corners, I guess.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense when you had a guy on the roster at one time that could jump, 4'6" in the air, and he couldn't fucking intercept shit. Like,
yeah, he couldn't cover, save his life.
Yeah, I know, could cover, save your damn life.
Right.
But anyway, we won't get into this. We get into sports. We will be here all night.
Yeah, we would be here all night.
All right, that's all of the headlines there. So I guess we can go over into hitting the road. I only have a couple here, so there was
I don't have a ton.
Announced. Yeah, I got two, and then a festival to talk about, and then
cool.
You can fill in the blanks, I guess. So
will do.
Nita Strauss is going on a 2023 North American tour. Solo tour with Lions at the Gate opening. Actually, it kicks off at Nashville. It actually kicks off at Nashville at the Exit Inn on June 13th. Cool. Yeah, and then ends on July 14th in New Orleans at the Parish at the House of Blues. So a little like a month jog there. I think there was 26 dates in there. So
still, that's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's something she's doing off of the Alice Cooper tour, of course.
Right. I was just about to say she's got that on top of rejoining Alice Cooper. So she, I'm glad she's back out. I'm glad she's back out off of her knee surgery too. So.
Yeah, it's awesome to see her back out there. Definitely, and like right now, I think the females are like killed it in the metal industry, man. Just which we'll talk about a little bit.
I know exactly where you're going with that.
Yep. Too, so.
Exactly where you're going with that.
But and also the Rocklahoma has announced their lineup, and single day passes are now available. If you're holding out for information about each day's lineup at this September Rocklahoma Festival, today was your lucky day. I don't know when this came out, so I apologize, but. Organizers had already announced who will be playing the festival, they only just now released when they'll be playing, featuring 3 full days of rock and metal from Friday, September 1st through Sunday, September 2nd. Rocklahoma looks like it's going to have some big sets from some pretty big artists. You can see how the festival's musical acts will be laid out. Friday, September 1st, you have Godsmack, Chevelle, Daughtry, Code Orange, Skid Row, POD, Aaron Jones, Blackstone Cherry, Fame on Fire, Plush, Dead Poet Society, Shot of Poison, Dead West, Small Town Syndrome, and Jesse Kill. Speaking of all women bands, Plush is in that little group there, so which is they're a younger group too, so it's awesome to see younger women involved in the metal industry for sure. Saturday, September 2nd, you had Limp Bizkit, Bush, Theory of a Dead Man, Asking Alexandria, Guar, The Who, Atreyu, Fuel Kicks, Steven Adler, New Year's Day, Crowbot, Dayseeker, 90-Pound Wrench. Damn, that's a heavy wrench. Snake Bite Whiskey, and Bat Allison on Saturday there. I was like, damn, 90-Pound Wrench. Be hard to turn a screw with that motherfucker.
Yeah, it would.
Sunday, September 3rd, you have Pantera, Rob Zombie, Corey Taylor, Ministry, Mammoth WVH, Buck Cherry Filter, Ginger, Mothica, From Ashes to New, Broken Love, Stone Breed, Sin, and Nova Rex. So along with those announcements, organizers said the single day passes are now available, with the initial pricing set up as $89 per day. Well, that's not too bad. As the event gets closer, though, the price will likely go up, so fans are encouraged to get their tickets as early as possible. Fans in the area also be encouraged to attend the Rocklahoma kickoff party on Thursday, August 31st at the Roadhouse. The show will feature performances by Warrant, LA Guns, Bullet Boys, and the Voodoo Moonshine. The pre-party will be open to anyone with a Rocklahoma weekend pass. That's pretty cool. That would be a reminiscent concert there. Warrant, LA Guns, and Bullet Boys. Hell, I'd be thinking I'm in the fucking I'm in the '88 again. Like,
right.
That's pretty awesome. It's crazy to think though that we're still talking about bands like that. Even this late in their careers, we're still bringing them up, which is pretty cool.
Yep. Wonder if anyone has asked them when they're going to retire.
Yeah, right. LA Guns can be like, no, man, you're talking about the other LA Guns.
Right. Yeah. There's two versions. That's true.
Yeah, that's the other version. You ain't talking about us. We're too young.
That's true.
And then the last one I had was Shinedown, Papa Roach, and Spirit Box announced the 2023 tour. That kicks off September 3rd in St. Louis, Missouri at the Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. And ends on October 20th in Denver, Colorado at the Ball Arena. And they do make a stop here in Franklin, Tennessee on October 3rd at the First Bank Amphitheater. So that would be a bad concert. Yeah. I guess I've never been like a big Spirit Box fan. They're okay, but I've never been like a big fan. Papa Roach puts on a hell of a show. Like, I mean, you may not like some of their stuff, but I mean,
yeah, you've told me about their live show.
Yeah, man, their live show is kick ass, dude. Like, I'm all about the bands that are still, Papa Roach is not a young band. I mean, he's got 20-year-old kids. So
yeah,
he's they've been around a little bit, and to see him still being up there hyping and jumping and stuff is pretty cool.
Hey, you can't hold a candle to Bruce Dickinson though.
Well, no, I don't think nobody can hold a candle to him. That motherfucker runs like hell. I get tired watching him run across stage. So.
I know. I'm telling you.
But that's all I had. That's all I had for hitting the road. So.
All right. Well, my contribution to the Hitting the Road segment for the 29th through the 5th over at the PRP.com leading off. Angel Dust will be going out with Life's Question and Jive Bomb starting May 17th in Charlotte, North Carolina at Snug Harbor, finishing May 27th in Richmond, Virginia at the Warehouse. Then they will be with End It. Then Narrowhead, Little Aaron, and Dead Heat will be at select dates during that leg of the tour, which starts June 7th in San Diego, California at Brick by Brick, finishing June 17th in LA at the Lodge Room. No Nashville date for either one of those legs. And hell, that concert starts in like a week and a half, or that tour rather. Then we have Sanguisugabog, Cruelty, Vomit Forth, and Gates to Hell going on a North American tour, with Deterioration and Dead Body showing up at select dates. That tour starts July 11th in Pittsburgh at Preserving Underground, featuring Deterioration, finishing on August 13th in Albany, New York at the Empire Underground, featuring Dead Body. They will be in Nashville at the End on July 15th, and Deterioration will be featured at that show. Pelican and Upper Wilds have announced a quartet of August shows, 8-9 in Indianapolis at High Five featuring Idiot, 8-10 in Louisville at Whirling Tiger featuring Total Concrete, 8-11 in Detroit at Smalls, and 8-12 in Chicago at Metro featuring Uniform. Protest the Hero and Moontooth are going on a fall tour starting October 12th in Ferndale, Michigan at The Loving Touch, finishing November 17th in Toronto, Canada at History featuring Covet. No Nashville date there. Judas Priest, Saxon, and Uriah Heep are going on a tour of UK and Ireland in 2024. Yeah, we're starting to talk about 24. Starting March 11th of 2024 in Glasgow, Scotland at OVO Hydro, finishing March 21st, 24 in London, England at the OVO Arena, Wembley. Converge is going on a European tour with Dying Fetus, Archspire, Gatecreeper, Frozen Soul, Frontierer, Terror, and Cave-In appearing at select dates. So obviously there's going to be differing lineups at different dates and all this other shit. That tour starts June 23rd in Manchester, England at The Outbreak, finishing August 20th in Carhaix, France at Motoculture. Enter Shikari, No Offense, and Fever 333 are going on a tour of the UK starting February 9th, 24 in Leeds, England at the First Direct Arena, finishing February 17th in London, England at the OVO Arena, Wembley. Lamb of God and the Acacia Strain are going on a very brief summer U.S. tour with Ice Nine Kills, Frozen Soul, and Suicide Silence at select dates. That tour starts right. That tour starts August 10th in Montclair, New Jersey at the Wellmont, finishing August 30th in Flagstaff, Arizona at the Pepsi Amphitheater featuring Ice Nine Kills. Then they will be in Pikeville, Kentucky at the Appalachian Wireless Arena on September 11th with the Black Dahlia Murder, After the Burial, and Alpha Wolf. No Nashville date on that tour. Alasana, yeah, unfortunately. Alasana, Limbs, Vampires Everywhere, and Across the White Water Tower are going out starting June 15th in Nashville, Tennessee at the Basement East. So the tour kicks off in Nashville, finishing November 19th in Denver, Colorado at Marquee. Powerman 5000.
That's the second tour we talked about kicking off in Nashville. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Powerman 5000, Julian K. and Priest are going out on tour starting July 7th in Wales, Vagina, California at the House of Blues. If you get that reference, good on you. If you don't, Google it. Finishing August 12th in Scottsdale, Arizona at Pub Rock. No Nashville date there.
I like that. I like how you slipped that in there. I was like, wait, what?
Telekinetic Yeti and Stinking Lisa Vetta are going on a U.S. tour. They will be with Somnuri starting July 5th in Des Moines, Iowa at Lefties, finishing July 26th in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Mercury Lounge. Then they will be with Riff Lord starting July 27th in Lawrence, Kansas at the Bottleneck, finishing July 30th in Chicago, Illinois at Reggie's Rock Club. No Nashville date there. Royal Bliss, Royal Thunder, and New Monarch are going out in July, starting July 6th in Omaha, Nebraska at the Waiting Room, finishing July 23rd in Nashville, Tennessee at the Basement East. So we have two tours starting in Nashville, one ending in Nashville. Signs of the Swarm is going on a European tour with Humanity's Last Breath and To the Grave, starting August 14th in Hamburg, Germany at Indra, finishing August 23rd in Munich, Germany at Backstage. Then they are going to be going on a tour of the UK with To the Grave and Harbinger, starting August 26th in London, England at the Underworld, finishing September 2nd in Southampton, England at Joiners. And last but not least, Angel Maker, Volvadinia, Falsifier, Carcosa, and Awaken Providence are going on a North American tour this summer, starting August 24th in Denver, Colorado at the Bluebird Theater, finishing September 23rd in Vancouver, BC at the Biltmore Cabaret. No Nashville date there. So that is hitting the road for the 29th through the 5th.
Awesome. Kobe also said Papa Roach puts on one of the best shows ever. So
nice.
So yeah, so they're definitely like, even if you only like a few of their songs, it's definitely an experience, I think. To catch those guys. And there's a few bands that I've caught like that. It's just kind of like, man, I'm not really like into their stuff, but man, they're so fucking good live. It's like you almost force yourself into going. So
right,
but still pretty cool.
That's good though, because then you have something that people also want to see and hear at the same time.
Yeah. I think like anything that makes a tour, like like I said, I think one of the best combinations of touring that I've seen so far this year was the Non-Point show, because you had Non-Point, Blacktop Mojo, and Sumo Psycho. And Sumo Psycho, like I said, I wasn't real familiar with a lot of their stuff until I actually seen them live, and just the stage presence and performance that they did, and then of course, after the fact, she's, without mingling with the fans was always a plus. But as far as like the show itself, it's like, I think they're a great hype band, and I think you need that. I think you need a great hype band to start a tour. I mean, it doesn't really matter if they're 3 albums deeper than you or whatever. If they're a great hype band and you're finishing out the night, then that's what you want. You want people to get hyped for you. So
agreed.
And like I said, I mean, it's kind of if you look at the metal tour of the year, I mean, hell, In Flames have been around for a long time, and they were opening, so it's kind of like. But I mean, I think it worked perfect because he was, for one, he come out with a damn Predators jersey on, so he was hyping the fucking Nashville fans up from the get go with that. So whether he's a fan or not, I don't know, but he may just be a hockey fan in general from being.
Well, he's from Sweden. I guarantee you he's a hockey fan. I guarantee you he's a hockey fan. Hockey is huge in Sweden.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, he may not really be a Predators fan, but he may have been a fan of the jersey he was wearing. I mean, he could have been an individual he was actually supporting. But
well, he did say he did say what did he say? Because I remember he came out with that jersey on, and then he said thank you for employing all the Swedish hockey players. He did say that. He did say that.
uh, yeah. So
To which I
yeah,
had to add. To which I had to add that Detroit actually has more Swedish players than Nashville does. But
yeah,
I had to throw that in there.
yeah. Well, all right. I guess
I couldn't help myself.
that will kick us into our theme of the week. And by the way, there is our playlist from last week's theme of the
Yeah.
week, which was Matt Roadrunner
Last
Records.
week was Roadrunner Records. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. The week before was Math.
Math. Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting, which is kind of fitting that we're kind of going a little bit in that same direction with our theme this week, which is school.
School. Yep.
So too cool for school.
That's right.
Which, was an old school song, but I didn't put that on the list.
Yeah.
And there's actually a couple that I probably could have stuck on here, and I may still do once you send me the list, depending on what we wind up with. I know I stayed away from 2 because I know you, so
yeah.
So I'm pretty. If you don't have it, I will be surprised. So
I'm sure I have the exact 2 you're talking about. I'm sure I do.
But I'm going to kick mine off here with Iron Maiden, The Book of Souls, from the Book of Souls 2015.
Nice.
Then go with Whitechapel, History is Silent, from Ken 2021. Then I went with Lacuna Coil, Spellbound, Spilling.
Yep.
Then that was from The Shallow Life, 2009. Then I went with Ginger, Teacher, which I'm not a huge Ginger fan, but I do like some of their stuff. So
yeah,
I'm going to throw that on here from the Micro EP 2019. Then I went with Wasp, Teacher from Dominator 2007.
Nice.
Then I went with Wilson, Wrong Side of History, from Tasty Nasty 2018. This one kind of jumped out in like because I guess I was looking this other stuff up, so it kind of popped up as a suggestion. I was like, oh shit, I didn't even know this song until it was like this popped up and I listened to it. I was like, oh, I like this one. But it's God Slave, and I'll actually share some news about that in a minute too, since we're talking about them. God Slave, our school from 1010 Rarities in 2019. It was just a bunch of rarity stuff on that album. So some live stuff that's rare, and then a couple of tracks that didn't make albums, I guess.
Some deep cuts.
Yeah, some deep cuts. Yeah, so pretty cool. I didn't really realize they'd been around that long, but I guess so. Then I went with Kill Ritual, Old School Thrasher, from the Serpentine Ritual 2012. Then I went with Bring Me the Horizon, Happy Song from That's the Spirit 2015. Yeah, it actually has that in that song too. So
gotcha.
So it's kind of a cheerleading type thing in the beginning of it. So then I went with Motley Crue, Smoking in the Boys' Room from Theater of Pain, 1985. And then I went with, last but not least, Under Oath, Writing on the Walls from Define the Great Line, 2006.
Nice. All right. Well, we only had one duplicate, so that's good.
Was it Motley Crue?
Yeah.
I almost steered away from it because I was like, I don't know if I have that one or not. But
yeah. Yeah, I had that one. All right. So other than that one, other than Smoking in the Boys' Room by Motley Crue, these are the 2 that I'm sure you already knew I had. I had School's Out by Alice Cooper off of School's Out from 1972. Huh?
I was reading the comments.
Yeah. Under Oath for the Win. And then I also had Hot for Teacher by Van Halen.
Yep, that was a 2.
Yep, off of 1984 album from 1984. Then I had Be Cruel to Your School by Twisted Sister from Come Out and Play from 1985. Then I had Class Dismissed, a Hate Primer by Exodus off Exhibit B, The Human Condition from 2010. Then I had In the Name of Science by Toxic Holocaust off of An Overdose of Death from 2008. Then I had 82nd All the Way from Sabaton off The Great War from 2019. And basically any song is a history lesson from Sabaton, but this one is relevant. This one's relevant to us because it's about Alvin C. York. He's from Tennessee, and his role in World War One. So there you go. Then I went with Old School Hollywood by System of a Down off of Mesmerize from 2005. Then I went with Lesson Learned by Propane off of Foul Taste of Freedom from 1992. Then I went with The Learning by Nevermore off The Politics of Ecstasy from 1996. Then I went with Who Taught You How to Hate by Disturbed off Immortalized from 2015. And last but not least, I had Teach Me to Whisper by Devil Driver off of Pray for Villains from
Nice.
2009.
Nice. That's gonna be a pretty good
It'll
playlist
be
too.
a good list. It'll be a good list.
Actually, when you started naming off some of the other songs, it kind of so a couple more popped in my head, so I may add them too. So.
There you go, man. There you go.
I was like, hell, I didn't even think about lessons. I'm like, oh shit, I know 2 songs right off the bat like that. So.
Well, the funny thing was, is I was gonna go with a lesson in violence, but by Exodus, but I already had one Exodus song on here, and
Gotcha.
I had that exact same song on the Roadrunner Records fucking list last week. So I was like, well,
okay.
so I mean, we could still technically add it, but I was like,
Listen. Let's see, but
hell, if it wasn't so perfect, I wasn't even gonna go with Hot for Teacher because I've had that song on other playlists, before, but it was way too perfect to not be on this list.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And since I was talking about Godslave a minute ago, yours truly wasn't a video for Straight Fire Zone. It was a fan-made video Godslave did, and I was actually in that video, so it was pretty cool to see my picture up there doing the little cheers to him. Yeah,
dude, you got to put that in the Facebook group.
I did.
When?
The day I found out, like I put it.
Oh
in
shit! Yeah. All right, well I'm gonna have to search that.
Well, actually, it came out 2 weeks ago, and I just now noticed it. Actually, I thought about it because we were talking about the movie that's coming up that I'm doing, and I thought, damn, I forgot about that video. I wonder if they put that out yet. And I went back and looked and said, yeah, they put it out 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh fuck.
Oh, I'm gonna look for that.
So I shared it. So yeah, I'm in there with my beer and my Machine Head shirt. So
fucking A, man.
Yeah, and I think it's cool that they did that because I mean of course it's got them in the beginning, and then it just shows a bunch of fans cheering them, giving them cheers. It's pretty cool. So they made a fan-made video for one of their hits, which is pretty cool. I think it's cool. It's cool when they include the fans. So
nice.
So, all right, we'll get that playlist going here. And,
yep.
No, I think last week was record time, but pretty close to it.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot better at getting the playlist put together.
Well, I mean, it hasn't been no like two days or nothing in a long.
Yeah, it hasn't.
So we've been doing really, really good.
Now I'm doing a really shitty job at the Metalhead Minute, but I'm doing a lot better on the playlists.
Well, like I said, I'm still like doing all kind of shit too. It's like, I didn't realize how much. Like I said, once I started editing this stuff from the expo, I'm just like, dude, there's no way in hell we would be able to do this and then edit it every fucking week. It'll be time to do the next show.
Right. Yeah. It's just
with us working and doing that too.
Yeah.
Like it's just too much. It's just too much. So.
Yeah. It is as far as the weekly show. It is what it is. If we have little glitches, people are just gonna have to roll with it like we do. So.
Well, I was on the wrong Wi-Fi. That's one of the biggest issues earlier in the show. So.
I got you.
And then I just got a Wi-Fi booster 2 weeks ago, so that's helped out. That's helped out a lot. So.
Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps.
All right, man. I guess we'll kick into our album reviews here.
Oh yeah,
new music for you.
Absolutely.
So, actually, I did a review on a album and an EP this week.
Oh, nice.
And I started listening to when we were talking about earlier about the women being into metal. The Burning Witches just had a new album out.
Yep.
So far, I'm about 3 songs in, and I'm like, oh, dude, I dig this motherfucker.
I'm about. Let's see. I am on song. What song am I on? Hang on. I am on song 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm on song 10.
Okay.
I'm a little bit further, so I'm 2/3 of the way through it, and I'm on the same page as you. It's fucking awesome so far.
It's pretty kick ass, man.
It's really good.
The women carrying the torch, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and Burning Witches is all females.
Yep.
All females.
Yep. All female. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Plush,
completely.
Plush all female. So it's pretty cool that you see all female bands, not just female fronted.
That's right.
So, we don't hear as much of that. Like I think Vixen was the first big like hard rock metal artist that I remember like being all women. Of course, that's just me. I'm sure there was probably some before them, but
I don't know, man. As far as hard rock and heavy metal being all female,
Yeah.
Man, without
I
doing
mean, you
some
had,
without doing some
I
without
mean,
doing some research, man. Whew.
you had bands like the Bangles and stuff, but I don't consider them as
Man,
much hard rock. I
no,
mean,
they were
rock
just
and roll for sure, but
they were they
definitely not hard
were
rock. So.
they were rock and roll, maybe borderline pop rock, but
Mm. Yeah, but I mean, pop wasn't as big then, so they didn't really categorize anything in that
that's true.
category much. I feel like things in the '80s were just so much simpler as far as categorizing stuff. It's like
Yep,
they actually were where they belonged then. So,
that's true.
uh,
That's true.
all right, let's talk about this, I guess here. So, the I did want to say that chick from Burning Witches is like my second favorite female vocalist next to Kobe from Halo Scars. But I'm just kidding, Kobe.
Shots fired.
uh, I wouldn't want for like he didn't know me, man. That's fucked up. But uh,
whenever
they're
we get
cool, dude.
whenever we
They're
get a
cool dudes. I can take it if you want to dish it back out. That's cool.
yeah.
Uh,
Whenever we finally get a soundboard, we got to make sure we get that rim shot sound effect.
yeah. Get the reject.
Yep.
He probably ain't even on here anymore. He's like, fucking guy. Anyway, album reviews. I went with the band called Finality. The album is called Technocracy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This band was formed in 2014 as a downtime project between friends. Finality has morphed into a six-headed monster from since then. They are featuring current and former members of Battlecross, Cursed Eternity, and As They Sleep. So, bands that have been around a little bit. So,
Battlecross, interesting.
yeah. So it's
Interesting.
a I guess you could say kind of a super group, I guess, but
Yeah, I think so.
it's definitely pretty cool. And anyway, the current members are Dan Faze on drums, John Artuso on guitars, Joe Caddy on guitars, Tony Asta on vocals, Hiron, I'm going to kill this name, Durana Yagala on guitars, Mike Hugel on bass. So, interesting thing here is you got three guitarists in this band, which makes it a little bit different. So,
got that Iron
this
Maiden
is,
shit going on, yeah.
Yeah. This is the band's debut album. 10 songs, 48 minutes, 11 seconds. And like I said, amazing guitar work. But I mean, if there are three guitarists, so you can't not talk about it enough. If you listen to this, you'll just be like, yeah, I can see where he's going with that, because it's kind of like, I mean, it's just overpowering, dude. It's like, but man, so cool. Vocals are real diverse. Tony shows his range off for sure. Definitely got a little bit some gutturals in there, but and the music even gets a little bit dark, borderline death metal at times. So it kind of works for him. So it wasn't a lot, but it did in like certain spots of the album. It kind of pulled that in there. So pretty cool.
Added some flavor to it.
Yeah, add a little flavor to it. Yeah. So put a little pepper on it.
That's right.
One thing you can't say is the band's one dimensional. That's for sure. Like
that's always a plus. That's a plus.
Yeah, definitely not one of them. They kind of mix progressive and traditional metal. I think, maybe kind of Queensryche-ish kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so definitely. I think that would probably be a band maybe I could associate with those guys, but yeah, definitely a four-horn album for me. So
nice.
Yeah, definitely check that out. Not going to say it'll be in the top 10 at the end of the year, but it's definitely a great album. So
nice.
Then I went with this EP that I found, Killanova, Moment of Clarity. Current members are, well, it didn't print out right. So I don't know. Is that guy? I'm going to look it back up. I don't want to get the name wrong here. So just a second here. I don't want to. I'm already going to have a problem misspelling the damn thing. I don't want to. They are on Metal Encyclopedia, so that helps.
That does help.
At least they're on one that I have tagged.
It's such a good man. It's such a good website.
Wait a minute, did I spell it wrong? Uh-oh. Oh, I did. Sorry. Spelled it wrong. I was like, why is it not popping up? It was there a minute ago. Because I can't fucking spell. That's why. Here we go. So current members are. It is Joe. I just want to make sure it was Joe. So that's what it looked like, but I wasn't for sure. So Joe Brambrick on bass, Steve Rouse on drums, Johnny Sloan on guitars, and Ellen Hill on vocals. So we got a female fronted another female fronted band here. So
nice.
Um, this is the band's second EP. They haven't had any full length albums, just two EPs, one in 19 and one now. So this one's five songs, 20 minutes, 48 seconds. They're listed as a thrash metal band, but I mean, I could see that a little bit. They did have a little bit of a thrashy sound, but to me, it's more metalcore. I would say categorizing it myself, but that's just me because it's a lot more screams and clean stuff than it is. Just thrashy. I mean, the music itself, I can see like if there wasn't no vocals, it could be thrashy, I guess. But I still feel like it's more metalcore.
I gotcha.
Of course, musically, guitars and drums are great, and this one actually was one of those where the guitars and the drums and everything just kind of complemented each other so well. It's like nothing really stuck out. You know what I mean? It was all just kind of on an even playing field, I think.
Nice.
Which is weird because I was sitting there trying to pick out what I liked about it, and I said, "Dude, all this stuff just sounds so fucking good the way they did this." So I don't know if it was a mixing or why, but it was definitely well done. Of course, the backing vocals are great in here too, and I feel like they're well timed because I know sometimes I hear some songs and I'm like, yeah, they probably could have done without that backing vocal. But I felt like everything in this one was done really well. It wasn't too much, and it was only done in a couple songs. So I feel like it was well done, well timed. Definitely. So right now, definitely, this is going to be in my top EPs of the year. So
nice.
If that tells you anything, and I'm gonna say an easy 4 horns for me. And I may even wind up listening to this a couple more times. I might push it to a 4.5. Honestly, because it's
all right.
It's definitely a pretty powerful release. I really look forward to hearing something from this band as far as full-fledged albums. So
yeah. Well, hell, that's awesome because like I say, I'm also 2/3 of the way through the Burning Witches, and just basically off of what I've heard so far, I'm gonna probably. I've got 5 songs to go, and I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be a 4-horn album for me either going forward.
Just think about the tracks on that. I was just like, man, when I seen it, I said, damn, that's a lot of music. So,
well, the only thing that annoys me is it's got a super short intro that counts as a track, and then there's like a track right in the middle that's like less than a minute. That's like one of those interludes. It's annoying.
Oh, gotcha.
It's annoying, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, it's fine if you're going to do that and have 13 songs with it. I mean, that's
right. So that's what I'm saying.
That's fine. Yeah. Kind of like the Machine Head, of Kingdom and Crown had those 2 interludes kind of stuff in before the songs, which kind of bothered me. And plus, we got 5 songs we already heard, but
yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you had 13 songs on an album. Right. That's not bad. So
right. My formal review was the new album Nostalgia by Enforcer. They are a heavy/speed metal band formed in Arvika, Sweden in 2004. They were formed as a one-man project of Olof Wickstrand. So, when the group started, it was just one guy. He was
little 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, he was joined shortly afterwards by Jonas Wickstrand. I'm assuming it's his brother. So Olaf Wickstrand, bass, drums, guitars, and vocals at first. Now you have Jonas Wickstrand on drums and bass, Jonathan Nordwall on guitar, and Garth Condit on bass. Their lyrical themes include violence, war, sex, and metal. This is their 6th full-length album. Their debut album, Into the Night, came out in 2008. Of course, like I say, that was one guy. And leading up to the new album, Nostalgia in 23. The new album is 13 tracks long, 12 with an asterisk, considering that track 1 is 38 seconds long, 41 minutes and 39 seconds in length. And I'm going to tell you this right now. This band came out in 2004. They might as well have come out in 1984. because this shit has Dokken, Judas
Hmm.
Priest, Painkiller. It's got fucking Pantera 1.0. I mean, it's got old school thrash, glam metal, hair metal, classic early mid 80s new wave of British heavy metal shit written all over it, and I fucking loved it. God, it was phenomenal. Um, like everything about it, it's not a perfect album,
Hmm.
but it's for me. This one is a phenomenal 4 horn out of 5.
Pretty
This one
solid.
was easy 4 horn out of 5 for me. Um, yeah, Olaf Wickstrand, he's got such a whew, man, his range is way up at the top. I'm talking like I'm talking like I said, like Judas Priest, Painkiller, Don
Mhm.
Dokken, the Glam Terra, Terry Glaze. I mean, just wailing, just hitting those notes and holding them, and just powerful fucking banshee screams, man. It was so good, and I like that here in 2023 we're talking about an album that sounds like it came out 40 years ago
Right.
when it
Mhm.
didn't. It was so well recorded that if it was recorded in 1984, they'd be like, how the hell did you get that done so well? Because I mean, because it's 84 and 83 sound with 23 technology. It's
Mhm.
amazing. It was so good. It was so good. So yeah,
Cool.
easy 4 horns out of 5 for me.
Awesome.
So I
Good.
say we got 4 horns
Good.
across
Good
the
review.
board this week. Yeah,
Good reviews this week. So
very good review week. And so let's hope that leads to this coming Friday, May 12th. We got one that I know I'm going to be listening to this Friday, leading off with the Acacia Strain with Failure Will Follow and Step Into the Light. So it sounds like they've got 2 new albums coming out this Friday.
they're like a use your lose your 1 and 2 type thing, huh?
Kind of, yeah. Then we have the Amity Affliction with Not Without My Ghosts, Artificial Sun with The Giants Collapse, Ascended Dead with Even Fall of the Apocalypse, Astro Death with Volume 2, Axe Minister with Vir Fortis, that's an EP, Battleborn with Bloodfire, Magic, and Steel, Black Spiders with Can't Die, Won't Die, Bohannons with Night Construction, Booby Trap with The End of Time, Cattle Decapitation with Terracite, the Cimmerian with Sword and Sorcery Volume 1, Circus of Rock with Lost Behind, Chronos Compulsion with Malicious Regression, that's an EP, Curse of Cain with a self-titled album, The Dark Side of the Moon with Metamorphosis, Daughters of Sophia with I don't know what, because it's in Korean or Japanese or
Yeah.
Chinese. I don't know what language that is, but it's in a bunch of characters I don't understand. Death of Giants with Vintasorg, Devil Driver with Dealing with Demons Volume 2, yes, Duskwood with The Last Voyage, let's see. How the hell do you say this? Isak Trillium with Astral Constellations of the Magical Zodiac. Um, let's see. Then we have Exitium with Imperatus March for Abysmal Glory. Fortunato with From High Above. Gaffed with Die Already. Uh, get get Gatu Plan or Getuplin, I don't know, with Valkumen till Under Jordan. That's obviously in. Well, I'm just gonna say I don't know I don't know what language that's in. Godsnake with Eye for an Eye, Grave Desecrator with Immune Im. Okay, hang on. This one's in Latin. Um, Immundissime Spiritus. Let's go with that. Hassard with Malavor. Heaven's Edge with Get It Right. Hex AD with Delightful Sharp Edges. Heil with Where Emptiness Is All. Ifrit with Pluka, that's an EP. Industrial Puke with Born into the Twisting Rope, rather, not Pope. Inverted Saint with Book of Apocalypse. Iris with Solace, that's an EP. Carmalia with From Darkness to Light. Krayu with a self-titled album. Left to Suffer with Feral. Lifeless with From
Yes.
Cradle to the Grave. What, you looking forward to Left to Suffer?
Oh yeah.
The Machine with Wave Cannon, Martra with Ophelia, that's a re-release. The Michael Thompson Band with The Love Goes On, Midwife and Viva Melancholia, with Orb Weaving, Moonreich with Amur, Morning Again with Borrowed Time, that's an EP, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult with Sinister Whispers 4, The Bedroom Tapes, 87 to 88, Never Ending Game with Out
Bedroom tapes.
yeah, Never Ending Game with Outcry, Nighthawk with Prowler, Omnirod with the Immensal Rise, Onkos with Vascular Labyrinth, Orida with The Eternal, Overexposure with Strive to Survive, that's an EP, Parody Boot with Fast Forward, Prophesy, I don't know, with Ubus 2, I don't know. Pronostic with Chaotic Upheaval, Rod 1313 with Overcome, Rusty Bones with Brainworm, Sacrilegious Impalement with 4 Infinite Victor, Scream Machine with Church of the Scream, Sleep of Monsters with I don't know what that is. It's like 3 symbols right in a row. Subterfuge with Philosopher, Sunbeam Overdrive with Diama, Swollen Teeth with a self-titled EP, Phantomass with Hades, They Watch Us from the Moon with Cosmic Chronicles Act 1, The Ascension, The Tunnel with Shudder, The Under with The Fathom, that's an EP, Veil of Maya with Mother,
Oh,
Ver-
nice.
Vera Luola with Cascades of Crimson, Cruor, Warco with The Giant's Dream, Will Zika with Magage, Magaja? I don't know. Worth with a self-titled album, and Wyoti with Mother of the Universe. So
Nice.
there's some definite
Like, damn, dude. Like you goddamn play all that shit, and then I gotta pick one that I don't know. Like, fuck.
I know.
Well, luckily I got an extra day off next week, so hopefully.
Oh shit! There you go.
I
think
I
it's
get all
pretty.
my prep work done before Thursday. I can actually probably spend all day Friday listening to this stuff. So.
Yeah, I think it's pretty safe to say that next week's new release list is probably going to bleed into the following, work week. More than
Oh
likely.
yeah, oh yeah.
More than likely.
Well, I
I
mean,
would say.
there's at least 4 big hitters on there. I know you said Acacia Strain, Amity Affliction,
Devil
Driver, of
Driver,
course,
Veil of Maya,
and Veil of Maya. Like, oh, I love Veil of
Veil
Maya.
of Maya.
Can't wait to hear that too. So
Yeah, some good stuff coming out this week.
yeah, man. Golly. Then we got to, like I said, then we got to pick something we don't know. So,
Yeah, I know.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess that will put a cap on it this week. Actually, I meant to tell you, I saved a thing here. Let me go back and see if I can find it. It would be in my favorites. My favorites. This thing has got I got to update, so now I can't find nothing. They changed the whole sidebar. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at?
I hate that shit, man.
They included like a shortcut to like Instagram and Facebook or some shit on it. Like, I don't care about that. I just want to see. I just want to see my bookmarks,
right.
man. Like,
exactly.
Let's see. It was. Let's see if I can find it here. That was tour dates. I want to say it was on Livewire. Let's see. Oh, shit. I thought I saved it. Anyway, it was they were talking about 40. I think it was like 40 bands that's not in the Hall of Fame that should be.
Okay.
So and I didn't really know how far that rant was going to go, so it's kind of like, yeah, we'll just wait and see how it plays out. So we could kind of maybe cover that next week.
Yeah, definitely hold on to that.
Kind of fresh on everybody's mind. So then we can kind of agree or disagree with what they say. So
good idea.
So which I'm sure there's going to be some disagreements in there somewhere. I didn't read the article. I just seen it, and I said, I'm going to save that. That would be cool to kind of talk about.
Yeah,
so.
that'll be definitely food for thought, no doubt.
Yeah. All right, I guess we will try to wrap this thing up here. You want to tell them where all they can catch us at? So.
Yep, you guys, catch us on our YouTube channel. Obviously, the show live streams there. Then, we've got Twitter, we've got Twitch, we've got Rumble, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok. We have our Facebook group. Come on over and send us a member request. We'll get you guys hooked up there. The Patreon is available. It's kind of still work in progress right now. And like I said earlier in the show, I've kind of fallen flat on my face as far as TikTok goes. I do plan on getting that back up and going this week. Sometimes, as they say on Jurassic Park, life finds a way to get in the fucking way sometimes.
Yeah, it definitely did for me this week. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I'll get back on track with that if you guys want to check us out over there. But yeah. And then Metalheads Unite USA at gmail.com if you guys want to get a hold of us on email.
And like I said, if you guys want to hit us up on our socials, if you're interested in any the t-shirts and stuff, we do have World Tour t-shirts from the last year.
Yeah, we do.
Unite World Tour t-shirts. I should have posted that up here where people can see it. I will do that next week. I'll make sure I pull that up so I'll have it ready to post up here.
Nice.
But yes, we have that. We have guitar picks. We have stickers. So we have a few items there. If you're interested in it, just hit us up on our socials, and we'll see about how we can get that out to you guys. So
yep.
And then we can set up a payment ordeal there. I'm actually, like I said, I still got a friend of mine around the corner. I haven't caught him out yet. So as soon as I catch him out, I'm going to try to pull him aside and talk to him about trying to get a web page set up and what that's going to consist of and stuff. So I know it's going to be a little expensive, but at least it's something we can have all that in one spot. You know what I mean? We don't have to worry about
that would be
trying to do a Patreon and stuff. All of our merch and everything will be right there with a secure way to pay and stuff. So
that would be cool.
Yeah. So that way we don't have to worry about it. We know what's being bought and sold and we can ship it out. So
absolutely.
So all right. Well, that being said, I want to thank Colby from Halo Scars for joining us. That's as always. Appreciate them still hanging tight with us.
Yeah.
So we're still following all those bands on our socials. So we kind of keep track of our people that kind of made us who we are. So
that's right.
So we appreciate that. So also we had Jake Davis stop by from Warzone and Wrestling. Check him out over there on his podcast there. We had Jorge Arancibia. He stopped by and liked the page and then or liked the post, and then of course my wife was in here for a minute as well. So, so we appreciate everybody for stopping in.
Absolutely.
Even if it was for a second, I mean, we still appreciate it. We understand 2 hours is a long time to hang around if you unless you're just chilling or driving or whatever. I mean, like I said, sometimes I drive and throw on Wolfie D's podcast and just listen to some of the shit on his stuff. So if you ain't never heard any of his stuff, it's Live with Wolfie D. He's got some pretty good wrestling stories on there. So, and of course, it's from our area, so most of it is. So it's kind of remember some of the people he's talked to. So, oh yeah, I remember that guy. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, so we're over here plugging other podcasts, but it's kind of what we do. So
hey, I mean, that's
really
totally
competition. Really not no competition to us, so it's all good. So, but you can catch our guys over at Decibel Geek. Don't want to leave them out. Chris Zinzak and Aaron Camaro. They do their stuff on Friday night, and they also record a weekly geek podcast. I always check those guys out too. They go around with some new stuff every once in a while too, but sometimes they're a little bit behind on bands.
Well, I mean, that happens sometimes.
I mean, they're a more of a 80s 90s glam hair metal scene type podcast. I mean, they're a little bit different than what we do. So
a little bit.
I actually do listen to them a lot if they're doing live shows on Friday nights. I usually listen to them, but now I'm preparing for this shit, so I don't really have time to listen as much as I used to. So, but I usually go back and listen to replays. It's like everybody else. There's always the replay somewhere. So,
absolutely, yeah.
Anyway, I want to be here rallying all damn night. So, thank you guys for stopping in with us. We will hopefully see you back here next week with hopefully some news on some new lineups for some interviews and stuff. Like I said, we do have one booked for the 20th, so we at least got one for you coming up.
Yep.
So
Yes, we do.
So we got to keep the world tour going here. So
that's right. Which since we're talking about it real quick, that will mean that there won't be a show Friday night the 19th. We will be doing a Saturday morning interview.
Yeah,
that's
which
right.
kind of works out anyway. Because I'm gonna be at the Ricky Ratma show that Friday night. So
that's right.
So it kind of works out.
So we'll have a little bit of a recap of that, and then we'll be doing an interview on Saturday the 20th. So I mean, we'll remind you guys all about that between now and then. But
we'll as soon as I hit him up the week before and know it's a go, we'll start posting stuff on our socials about advertisement and stuff. So
absolutely.
I always want to be positive before I start advertising. So
better safe than sorry.
Yeah, it is. All right, guys. Hopefully we'll see you back here next week. Until then, keep those horns held high. Jump in that pit anytime you can.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.